North American stock futures pointing to further gains coming up at the open this morning, coming off another record-setting performance back on Friday. We had the S&P and the NASDAQ closing in record high territory. The Dow obviously positive to wrap up the week on Friday as well, but just ever so slightly below all-time highs for the Dow. It was all about Fed Chair Powell last week and his comments at the end of the week suggesting a wait-and-see approach when it comes to interest rate hikes. And the tapering word came back to the forefront once again. We could see tapering from the Fed, remember, as soon as their meeting coming up in September. That will be September 21st to 22nd. The major economic release this week going to come on Friday. We'll get August jobs data out Friday morning at 8:30. So that is really the only significant release that's to come this week. Buy now, pay later firm, Affirm, the big mover in the pre-market this morning. Friday after market, they announced a deal with Amazon for a deal that's going to provide them with buy now, pay later services. We'll look at Affirm. Vaccine stocks on the move. Some negative news surrounding both mRNA, Moderna, and Pfizer this morning. We'll talk about both of those and some of the Chinese stocks getting a bit of a bounce this morning as well. It's Monday, August 30th, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. And there we go. Look at how things stand at this point. Yeah, we're positive, but only just for U.S. markets at this point. TSX futures here in Toronto pointing to a slightly lower open to start things off. But a very volatile week last week in energy markets. You can see crude there, little changed. Crypto's a little bit negative to start things off, 2 and 3% there for Bitcoin. And Ethereum. It is Monday, and guess who's back in the building? Sean has returned from vacation. Arun along with us on the other side of the screen this week with Neil taking his much-deserved vacation. So welcome back, Sean. Good to see you.
Well, thank you, Brendan, and it's great to be back to with our Trader TV family. But right now we're going to get excited because GSAT looks like it's breaking days high here at 215. I think we're going to go long GSAT right here when we start the day. And look, it's great to be back. It was a good week. We had, I don't know if we had record setting, but it felt like that, Arun. Temperatures here, I don't know where I was up north. It was like 32, 33 degrees Celsius every single day, so pushing like 100 Fahrenheit, things like that. There it is, GSAT. We are now into that position, 1 for 1 here. So we're going to go one trade in, and we'll see where it goes. GSAT taking out the top, but I saw SPRT last week, Arun. It seemed like the futures were a bit slow. Were you able to catch anything there?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? When the futures really slow down, I start to look at other things to trade, and for a lot of people that never saw me like that on Friday, I went into pure scout mode,
right,
and I was all over the place.
How did that feel?
It's not something I want to sustain. So I'm going to go back to trading the way I normally trade because there are a lot of things that are setting up, and I'm sure we're going to get a lot more info out of Brendan.
Great, yeah, it should be a good week. We got some big guests coming through. Kevin O'Leary with DeFi tomorrow coming through as well. So we'll be talking about that throughout the show. So we're really super excited. I'm glad to be back here. It should be good seeing Valeria, seeing Rob, Lucas, Maggie, everybody in the building as well. So it's going to be a fun week. I promise you that, even though the market may not have too much volume, we're always going to find these symbols because there goes GSAT again. We're 4 cents in the money. Let's see where this one goes to the upside here on a rumor with Apple, Brendan.
Yeah, positive for GSAT. Apparently the iPhone 13 going to have satellite capabilities. We'll talk about that coming up. We'll also talk about other small caps. There's a lot of them this morning doing a lot of volume here in the pre-market. Before we do, though, let's get over to the desk and say good morning to Ms. V.
Good morning and happy Trading Monday, everyone. I wish you a wonderful, successful day. And please don't forget to give us your like. Let's get it started, Brendan.
Let's indeed, guys, get it started. It is the first of the final 2 trading sessions for the month of August. If you can believe that, it's already going to be September here by Wednesday, obviously. Last week, we saw a number of these highly shorted low float type stocks go absolutely crazy over Thursday and Friday specifically. And I'm speaking specifically of support.com, still pushing 26, 27, 28% on the short side of things. And this Vinco Ventures, guys, which is BBIG, still as well, 45+% on the short side. There's also this ATER, a little tiny low floater stock as well. Doesn't seem to have anything significant as far as news catalyst to pass along. However, when we get into the latter part of the summer here, it's nice to have, some of these types of stocks doing this kind of volume.
Yeah, look, I mean, that's what we were talking about. It does get a little slow here. I mean, we know that there's some taper talk and things like that. Not there is some. I mean, we had Jackson Hole last week. I was watching some of that, obviously. And it's nice to see that they're not going to be releasing too many hounds on the market as of yet, as far as interest rates are concerned. So we're going to wait to see how that can happen. But they're talking about taper, I guess, near the end of this year. So we'll see if that can do anything and maybe spark the market a little bit here. And we will be talking, obviously, about the market itself. But I think your point is very, very valid there, Brendan, that at least we have some of these other names, like a support.com. And, you were just talking about that earlier on Friday. And as I look on the chart here, I mean, we had a halt here right at the close, another halt right before the close, and a halt at 3 o'clock, and so on and so forth. So it was a little bit nuts in the afternoon, and a couple of halts here, not a couple, but as we started the day on SPRT. So now today we come in and we see something very, very similar where, we close at 27.28, and today we've already touched 42. So I wrote down here, and if you wanted to, you could find our sticky note. It's up. Maybe Valeria could put the link up as well, but it's up on the webpage there. And I have a 42 break. Look, I don't think it's the end of the world to see this thing come back up to 42. I mean, you're at $36, $37. I mean, it's one of the highest shorted issues out there right now. And of course, software, tech, you get Reddit behind it. You get some of these warriors, Wall Street warriors that are trying to crush this thing to the upside and hit everybody that's short. So you could get this bounce again, man. And I'm just thinking, does it happen again? Maybe it does. So I like this here, this 42 break. We already have the order ready to go, locked and loaded. If we get a 42, then we'll hit that. And then if we don't, I wrote down, Arun, like support near here, like this 32 level on, support on support.com. So we have about this 32 level here that I'm liking for support. We did have some bouncing action there off of the open last Friday, or on Friday, I guess. So I don't mind some support back here at 32, 30-ish. I mean, you could go down to the bottom of 26 here, but I like a 42 break on SPRT. Let's see if we get squeezed some more. And then I like support down at 32. So we'll put some low bids down there and see if we catch something.
Yeah, on my chart here, you can see it. I was all over the place on support, especially in the afternoon. I was shorting from 44 all the way down. And we ended up getting out right on the $28 gap that it went into support, on support. So there is some baseline action that you can actually work with. If you want to catch a bounce here, 30 going down to 26 seems to be some line for some buyers. So that's definitely one area to look at. The other side, the upside, I'm looking at 44. Because I remember when I went short on 44, there was a little bit of hesitation here. So 42, I'm going to wait to see how much action we get above it, but I think 44 is where I would step into the buy side. And the other thing I'm going to do on this, so I'm not as active as Friday, is I'm also not going to pay for the short. So I'm only going to play the upsides if there's only upsides available. If there's only downsides available, I'm going to try to stay away from this as much as possible. I just want to go back to trading the way I normally trade, because that was quite active, and I don't want to do that 2 days in a row because it is exhausting.
All right, we'll shift gears here a little bit, guys. Another one that's relatively small as far as overall market cap is concerned, 1.6 billion. I'm talking about Root Incorporated, ROOT, which is in the insurance, property, and casualty side of the insurance business. Every once in a while, when we get some big storms moving through the southern part of the U.S., as we did over the weekend, you come in on a Monday and find some of these property and casualty companies higher this morning. I can show you here real quick. This was actually going back to the beginning of the month. Somebody might have known something earlier this month, but this company has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 major institutional upgrades and price target increases over the past couple of weeks. So we come in this morning, as you can see, the last update there, August 23rd. Nothing significant outside of the fact this is insurance, guys.
Okay, so I was listening to you, but not as much. Well, I know I was.
We'll
go back to Root,
looking
but we were
gambling,
looking at a firm here quickly because we did write down, and I just put the sticky note up as well. I'll put the link one more time here. Oh, no, my link did not work there. But this is what we're talking about here with a firm. We just talked about this 97 break 97.50 break, sorry, that was going to be a huge long position there. And unfortunately, it just does break for us. And again, sorry if I'm getting a little distracted here because, you know, we're back in the building right now and we're trying to make some wins. So we do get a 98.20 right now. So we'll hit it, man. Superman is already here. So we'll see where we go. Although Arun, I believe, is the new Superman. You have that Superman shirt that you wear. So, you're wearing it right now. There you go.
Right,
okay, so Arun is Superman in the building. So we'll just keep barbecuing up some profits right now as we go $1 now in the money on AFRM, and we're gonna wait to see where that goes, but we should have 97.50s right now, so my bad on that one, and we'll post the sticky note up so you guys can get some more ideas. Thank you, I guess, thank Arun for that one, because he was like, yo, Affirm is breaking 100. I'm like, it's breaking 100. What happened to my 97.50? And on that note, we'll talk about AMC at some point. Yeah, there it goes, man. Let's go,
about to break 100.
Get those money bags going, man. We're back in the building. This is going to be a big week for us. 99.30 right now, trying to break. 100 trying to break. We're long at 98.20. This is $2 now in the money. So, you know, we won't ring the register yet. We'll just wait to see how far this goes. Hey, this could go against us still. So let's not count our chickens before they hatch, and or take that amazing line from my co-host who is now on vacation. We don't want to look that gift horse in the mouth. You like that one?
I mean, he looked a lot of gift horses.
He looked a lot of gift horses in the mouth. Okay, so that might not be a good thing. Yeah. So let's pass on that. Okay, let's go over here to Root. And you know what? Whoops. Okay, see, right back down now. So now we get even longer now on Affirm. So all right, let's go to Root quickly here as we continue to talk. Look, I mean, this insurance issue is always going to be there. Oh, I did want to look at PC&G. Is that having the same kind of move today? I don't know if they're insured in the same areas. Let's just wait to see PC&G. No, nothing happening. One share of volume. Okay, so we better go back to Root then. So 820 here. This is a nice little level for Root. If you look here on a daily chart, you know, we've just taken out some of these bottoms right here. Well, actually, we're right there right now. This 830, what we're looking at is 824, 825, back into some of these resistance areas. So to me, I would have thought this could have been a short now that we're down to this area. So, up to this area. I was thinking about shorting into here, but we arrived here a little quick off that day on Friday. So, Friday we go from 585 up to about 650, 660. And then today now we're all the way up here to 860 as the high on the day. So I think you have two options here. We either short this and play off this 860, which I think is the right play. This is a relatively new IPO. It's just been getting absolutely crushed on the daily chart. You guys can see this. I mean, I don't feel bad, because there's a lot of IPOs that look like this, and this is just one of them, but you are coming now nicely off a bottom there, but this is a big, huge move up, and I don't know if it's a correct move or what, but I think it's a little too large, so I think I'm gonna be a shorter of Root somewhere around here. If we can get up to $9, we're gonna go short. And yes, sir, what did we do, Arun? This is one of my favorite ones, so we're gonna get locked and loaded here, just like Jake Paul last night, although he didn't do that well. He's reloaded! Okay, I'm reloaded! And there goes Affirm, guys, right up to the upside right now. Good trade alert happening for me. $2 now, Arun, in the money as we did get reloaded there at the same price. We just didn't get our full position, so we get reloaded. Now we're ripping up to the top side here. $2 in the money on AFRM. It would be even more if we had that 97.50 level. Are you seeing anything on Root at all?
Yeah, I'm looking at Root. I actually took a shot on Root earlier in the pre-market. Took a 30-cent hit, actually. Above the 850 long, got out just underneath 820. I'm going to stay away from this. I wanted to see some action above 850. I thought I saw it, and then they brought it right back down. So for me now, I'm just going to kind of stay off and see how much action we get. If we get back above 850, you can see it on the chart here. You can see the trade, actually. If we can get back above 850 and stabilize, at that point, I think we have a shot at continuing on. If that's the case, then I'll go for the long above 850 with an 8 even stop, so 50 cents and change, maybe 60 cents depending on what price I can get. But for now, though, that early hit is all I'm going to leave it as, and we're just going to stay away from this because clearly it's up 30%. It's kind of trying to figure out where it wants to go from 850, and I think at this point we just got to let it determine itself, and then we can go from there.
All right, guys, the EV space, an interesting one, end of last week and into the first week of the month. Typical for the first week of every month, we get Chinese delivery data from the Chinese EV makers and then eventually Tesla as well. We're going to talk about Tesla coming up here because there's reports they're not doing too well in China over the past couple of months. But let's talk about Li Auto. They actually reported earnings, first of all, and also came out with their delivery numbers, their most recent delivery numbers. But wider loss for Li, sales exceed, and they also released a positive outlook for the remainder of the year. One of those that's been kind of stuck in a range, though. We are higher, though, to start for LI.
Okay. Yeah. So what's up, guys? Hope everyone's having a good time. We will look at some Chinese names, of course, with Li Auto. We do have Alibaba on our watch list today. But right now, I'm kind of just infatuated with some of these trades. We do have this trade now, $3, $4, $5 in, or sorry, 98 up to 101, $3 in the money here on AFRM, and we just did get into this one. So we'll hit the siren alert for AMC. We're into AMC now as well. So we'll see if that goes on that 41.50 break. It goes as high as 41.65, which we're at right now. So it's another 15-cent winner. So look what we've got on board right now. $3 in Affirm. Well, right now we'll call it a dime on AMC, you know, still pending. And then, I didn't see this one as well. Let's hit the cowbell, Arun, because there's already another winner right there on GSAT. So we take it in at 215 and out 231 there on GSAT. And again, you know, welcome to the show. Thank you for watching. And I've missed doing the sticky note as well. But here is the sticky note right here. GSAT long 215. GSAT long 215. When was this tweeted out? When it was under 215. And right now you get, so look, here it is. Affirm 97.50, GSAT there, and then AMC. So right now all three of these names on the watch list and starting to run. There goes GSAT right now up to the high spot. We take out half for 15 cents. Look, we can get 15 cents on a $2 name. You know, we'll take that 8% right now and hold the rest and see where we go with that one. And then AMC still to the upside. We'll see where it goes from here. But okay, so you want to talk about Li Auto a little bit? Let's do that, guys, if you want. Li Auto upside 29.80, 165,000 shares is pretty nice. Come on, charts. Oh, how were the charts last week, by the way?
They were all right. They were
all right. Okay, yeah. Good. So welcome to the jinx that I am. Okay, so right now Li Auto up to $30 and change. Let's see what it looks like here on a daily chart. It's not doing that much. Last week was pretty good early when you had some nice little run-ups in the first couple days in some of these Chinese names. We saw Alibaba get back to 166, I believe, and then we'll talk about that in a minute as well. But right now Li Auto back to 167, up 1.7%. Sorry, and 28. I don't know. I'm not super in love with this. I don't see too many big volume spikes here on Li Auto. I'm going to pass on this one. I'm also going to look at NIO today. I mean, if I'm going to trade any auto, you guys know which one I do. I prefer NIO to XPEV, to Li Auto, to all those. And again, come on, charts. And again, you know, the main reason why I like this is because of this little number right here, and it's called volume. So I prefer to see when the volume comes into play. And then we always like to get some of these dips early on here in NIO. So we're going to look for the same thing. If we can dip down, we have the S&P and the NASDAQ both positive right now. So that's going to be a good, I believe, yep, that's going to be a good little, you know, onus for us. So I'm going to go long NIO back to 38. Let's put some bids and see if we can get that. But here we go, man. I mean, AMC, we just took out another one there, guys. AMC, bang, 25 cents right there. GSAT 15 cents in the money. And here we go, man. Now we're $4 in the money on Affirm. So it's going to be a good one there. I like NIO back to, what was that level? I know I'm sort of all over the place here, but I have three positions, and they're all doing pretty good. NIO back to 38. Let's see if we can defend some 37.75s or so.
Yeah, you know, for me, LI Auto, or LI, I'm actually just looking at 30 half and 29. It seems to be in a sideways range. We're going back a few days. This is a 5-minute chart zoomed out a few days. And we're kind of stuck here. We see some support below 29.5. We see some resistance above 30.10, 30.20-ish, going back into 30.50 on the 26. So I'm just going to say, you know what, 29 on the bottom, 30 half on the bottom, 30 half on the top. If we get a breakout in either direction, then you go for the range breakout. If you stay in the range, you can either try to play the range if you are well versed in range trading. Otherwise, just wait for the breakout, right? It's fairly kind of not easy, but it is declaring itself as a range for now. So I would just wait for the range to break if that's what you're looking for. But there isn't a whole lot going on at Li Auto, at least at these prices. Not just yet. We're going to have to wait for that break to make a trade on this.
All right, another one that was a big crazy mover last week, guys. Cassava Sciences, an interesting look this morning. Another nearly 10% move to the downside. Remember, this thing got absolutely destroyed, going from 120 beginning of the week all the way down to 50 and change. By the end of the week for Cassava Sciences, there was an interesting note, this investor place, talking about, is it time to buy the dip on Cassava Sciences? Obviously, there's some higher level negativity surrounding the stock following what happened last week. But another day, another 10% downside here. Arun, you were all over this one a couple of times last week.
I was trading this quite a bit on Sava. Me and Neil were actually on top of this since 100. We were trying to fade 100. We kind of forgot about it, let it go, and then they kept gapping down, and the risk was getting, every time you wanted to get a short, the risk would be ridiculous. It'd be like a $10 risk for every trade that you would have to take in, you weren't sure if you were going to able to get that back on the profit side of things. So some trades you had to let go of. Now it's setting up again one more time after consolidating on Friday around that 60 area. Here it is underneath 60. I'm looking at 48 even. If we can put in a new low as well, that would break 50, confirm that little false break that we had twice. It kind of bounced off that 50 mark on Friday twice. So if we can actually break 48, get underneath, I think then you have a chance to go after this move, because there should be some buyers that are caught at this point that would be able to provide some resistance after the breakdown through 50 and 48 based on what we saw on Friday. So 48 is the marker I'm looking at. And if we get that break, depending on the price you get and how it breaks, at this moment, I would have to use 60 as a stop. It would have to be a $12 risk on the trade. But if you can actually get some sideways trading before it actually takes that 48 down, then you may be able to control the risk a little bit better. Maybe the risk will be like $5, $6 or so. But we've seen how this stock can go. This stock can really get going. This was quite aggressive. Every time it's fallen, it's gone like $10 within minutes. We saw it on the day that it went from 100. We saw it on the 26th after it took 80 even, it went straight to 70, and then we saw it in the pre-market on Friday when it went from 75, 70-ish all the way down to 55 and change. So it gets aggressive especially to the downside. So I am looking at 48 even on the downside break and see if we can get short to extend this move on down.
All right, yeah, I haven't really looked too much at Sava, so that was some good level breakdowns there. Obviously, down 10% is going to be something that y'all want to look at here. AMC still continuing to rip up. We just touched 42 and bounced off a little bit, so that's a 50-cent winner, but we didn't take that out. And then right now, the only thing that's seen, well, not the only thing, I mean, we're 3 for 3, but it seems like it was a good idea to take this a firm long right now. Long at 98 there off that. I mean, we were trying to get 97 break, but we missed it, so we take 98.20 now, $4 in the money on AFRM, and still trying to make some eyes. As we look at this, where are we going to get out on something like an Affirm? I mean, I don't know until we see what the market's going to do today. I'm willing to let this one go all the way back down. I mean, it's a big position. We're almost at our daily goal here, so that's why we're getting a little bit excited. We will try to calm down a little bit. I know it was a much calmer week for you last week, Arun, than it may be this week with me sitting here, but I don't want to change up the style that everybody's used to here. So we'll do that. We'll hopefully have some big winners for you. Now $5 in the money with Affirm. People asking, if it's too late to get in. I honestly, guys, I pretty much think it is. I mean, we missed it. If you missed this, I'm just going to try to see if on a 20-minute chart what we have here. I mean, there's going to be, yeah, that's stupid because this is the first move. Even on a daily chart on Affirm here, we're all the way back up. So I don't know to say if we missed anything on this move. If you want to get in now, you can. The point is, though, is we're coming up to, what is this now, 102, 103? Like, I mean, what levels do we even have of concern here? I mean, this is a brand new deal opening up a brand new opportunity for them. So I don't think technically there's really anything to look at. And I think that's one of the more important things. When you're looking at a stock, like a Sava or something that's been bouncing around for a while, then you do have some key levels. But when a firm's running like this, there really is no place, in my opinion, where we should be able to get out here. Now it's coming back down, but maybe this 103 we just bounced off of, so that might be an area of concern for me. So maybe we'll take out a $5 winner and then see where we go. But right now, a firm looking to bounce around there. And then another question was, GSAT, where do you get in if you're not in already? And this one has a little bit more legs to it because we've been up here before. So again, I like these GSAT areas, but again, a rumor with the MAC sends this thing rifling. We'll have to find out. I don't know if Brendan can find this out. I mean, he's a busy guy right now, but maybe when the show opens, what sort of started GSAT back here back in February, like late February, we had basically the exact same move upside here. So was that something very similar? I don't know, but we'll wait to see where this one wants to go now. I'm looking at like getting out here 280, 260. I'm going to put an offer, man. I'm going to put an offer like right here, 267. This is not a typical move for me, but hey, this is all the way to the upside. We've already cashed in quite nicely. Let's make sure we don't let these profits go to the way. Remember, there's 35 minutes. What am I talking about? There's 35 minutes left before the market even opens.
Yep.
So, I mean, right now we're tempting fate a little bit with some of these monster winners. So if we can cash out, hit sort of our daily goal there before the market even opens, then I think we're doing pretty good. So let's put an offer here on GSAT right at some of these old resistance levels. 260 I think looks pretty sweet to that. So if we can get it from 216 up to 260, I think we should probably take that. So right now GSAT looking like we may have a good opportunity to get out of this one around 260, 270 or so, but Let's see the momentum. Maybe we don't. Who knows? Brendan over there, is there some upgrades and downgrades today, my man?
Always. Speaking of a firm, here we go. You mentioned Amazon, and analysts instantly love you. So multiple. I mean, we put Barclays on here, but there's multiple positive analyst notes for a firm today. Worth noting, Hub Group's on here. Yeah, a couple of these Chinese. We're going to talk about these Chinese stocks, but a couple of the online education companies getting upgrades today. Big Lots, Micron, Pinterest, and one Chinese company to the downside, guys.
Ooh, I missed that. Damn it.
Just one thing I want to put up, Root. Root is breaking down after taking that 810, 820. We were kind of waiting to see what would happen if we can get it back above 850 to get along. Well, no, it's going down through 8. Now here it is at 780 and change. So this is moving to the downside fairly aggressively and fairly quickly. So keep an eye out. It seems like there's the last line of support, it seems to be around 750 and change. So we might catch a bounce off this 780, 770 area with the 750 stop. If you are looking for, I know there's a lot of people in the chat saying, what's looking for a bounce or what are potential bouncers? Well, we're getting to an area that could bounce. If this bounce can't hold, then look out for them to close out the gap. So that'd be a problem if we were actually to kind of break through 750 and back on down. But for now, Root is on the downside move towards 780 into support. So keep an eye on that going into the open.
Yeah, I never. That's why we went over to PCNG and we tried to find, like what was actually going on. I just tweeted out about this GSAT and talked about getting out at 260-ish in case that was something that you guys were looking at. So you can find that. Yeah, thank you. And again, thank you for all the love here on the chat today. Abdullah, yeah, we did have a good break, man. I mean, the wife and I went to. You could check it out. We put some pictures up. We went to some concert there on Saturday night. That was super fun. Had some golf, relaxation there when we went up north. I saw, the various family members and stuff like that. My parents came up. The in-laws came up as well. So it was really, really good. Oh, someone, let's hear some crypto plays. Okay. Maddox's been doing really well as well. We had Cardano starting to blast off a little bit here. What a good trade. Actually, where is my Cardano? What the? Okay, right now, right now, ADA is starting to go downside a little bit, but you guys know where we loaded up, man. We got reloaded on this one, and we'll hit, that's the wrong one there, but we'll hit it anyways. You don't have to be smoking anything to be trading crypto. I think that's what we should all be doing, to be completely honest with you. But right now, ADA, okay, good. I thought it said 260, but that didn't go down that far. Now we'll just reload this chart and just to see what's going on. Right now, it doesn't seem to be working, but okay, 278. So if you look at a daily chart here, we can even go, we can do a daily here on ADA, but you see, smart contracts looming. We did touch $3 there. Well, whatever this was, 297. That was a big trade. This is where we talked about loading up, man. $1. My last buy was $1.03 right here live on the show. So that was a good purchase for us back in July 21st. So in about a month, we've got 3 times or so on ADA. But guess what? Your boy hasn't sold a dime yet. So we're going to wait to see where this one goes from here. But I do like Cardano, and I will come back with some more crypto plays as we go. We'll talk about why Ethereum maybe is not moving. Bitcoin touches 52,000, now back down to 48,000. So we'll see. Crypto's been kind of quiet for a couple days. So for those of you that are in crypto, look, there's always going to be more and more news to come. Thing is, crypto winter was already happened, and that was supposed to be summertime. So now this is sort of when people are talking about crypto starting to get going again. So for me, I'm really super excited about this. Let's wait to see. Another Bitcoin break of 50 means a lot. Okay, talk about meaning a lot right now. Here we go. Let's go, man. Punching this one in the face. Bang, watch out for your screens. As GSAT's still going to the upside right now. 35-cent winner on a $2 name ad. That's 20% return. That's not bad, Arun. What are T-Bows paying right now? Minus money? They're not, but close enough with inflation. We'll take this to the upside right now. Still going now with GSAT, so that's going to be a nice little win. AMC, we did take off some there for 50-cent winner. And then, unfortunately, though, like we said, man, we did that Neil move again, which we're looking gift horses in the mouth on this one. And 102.75, we had $5 in the money on a firm, and we didn't take it. So right now, we'll wait to see if it come back up to 102. I still think, is that right? Is it only 858 right now? So we'll have to wait to see what's going on. Quick check before we throw it back. MGM, why is MGM up here so much today? I know they had that Jake Paul fight, and I guess Neil is now training to fight Jake Paul. So we're going to wait to see if that can happen. I think that was some of the rumors there. But did you hear that, Brendan? Was part of the news last week? Neil versus Jake Paul?
I don't even know what to say to that. No, he is definitely not going to do that. That was very uneventful and very not exciting.
I stayed awake for that damn fight, man. Like,
Who won that fight, by the way?
No
Or
one.
was there a winner?
no, there was a winner. I cashed a ticket. I had Jake Paul knocking the guy out in the second round and the third round for plus 650, which was a great bet. Doesn't turn out to be that great. Thank God I did have Jake Paul at like minus 170 or something to get the win. And he did win in a split decision. So now apparently Tyron Woodley wants a rematch. But the thing is this a stock trading show? Yeah. Okay. But the thing is that he's supposed to get tattooed I love Jake Paul on him. And until he does do that, there's going to be no rematch. So we'll see if he actually tattoos that on. Hey, look, for $30 million, Arun, would you get I love Neil Roberts tattooed on you?
Nope.
I don't know. I don't
30
think
million. 30 million, Arun.
Sean,
mean,
also, by the way, congratulations to, I know you're a big fan of Patrick Cantlay.
Yes. Did
Coming
you
up
watch that?
huge. Yeah, I did, yeah. Taking down Bryson DeChambeau in a playoff yesterday at the BMW Championship.
Yeah, I know. That was an absolutely great battle. How many extra, did it go 4 holes extra or something like that?
It was 3 or 4, yeah.
Yeah, that was a great one. I don't think, Arun, did you watch any golf?
no, not at all. I'm trying to get myself into an AMD long right now, which I just keystroked out of. So I'm trying to get some AMD longs, 112.50 and change with the 110.50 stop. That's what I'm trying to work right now, but I kind of screwed myself a little bit here, accidentally punching out of some shares. So I'm trying to get that back. But that is a trade I'm looking at right now.
All right, guys, speaking of cryptocurrency markets and the DeFi world, make sure you come by tomorrow morning because we're going to talk about crypto specifically. 6 out of the 10 last investments that Kevin O'Leary has made in crypto or the DeFi space. So we're going to talk to him about that. We're going to talk to the guys about WonderFi. Make sure you're here tomorrow about 10:30. The guy's going to come on, so don't miss that. Make sure you are here, as I said, for tomorrow. Let's get into what is moving around here, guys, in the pre-market, including Affirm. We talked about the news already, obviously, teaming up with Amazon. They announced this aftermarket on Friday for buy now, pay later services for Amazon. As I said, anytime you mention your company is teaming up with Amazon, that's a huge move for Affirm.
People saying Neil would beat Jake Paul? Okay, I mean, look, I love Neil. I mean, I've known Neil since I was in grade 3. I mean, that's part of the reason why we're here together. Neil would get whooped by Jake Paul. Let's just put it that way. So would I. The guy's 6'4", and at train you box though.
I used to box, yeah.
Used to box. I don't. We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so what were we talking about again? Oh yeah, Affirm. Okay, so right now Affirm. So we did talk a little bit about this here, and I think that. Again, the Amazon deal, whenever you're sort of cracking a deal, yo, what up, Trader Pratt is back in the building. My man, oh, what is this? Ooh, thank you for
You got him a hat?
Trader Pratt throwing this down. Where did you get this from? Don't worry about it. What is your hat? You got a pop?
He's got a lot of fresh gear.
Oh my God, a green hat here? This is what Trader Pratt just hooked me up with. Palantir Investor. I feel like I need to go to Investor Day now here or something like that. Okay, so we're invested in Palantir. Thank you for that, Trader Pratt. He did say there was a gift coming for me, and I had no idea what it was, because when you're dealing with Trader Pratt, you don't know what you're going to get. So let's throw this out there. Thank you so much. We will. Are we allowed to wear hats on the show? I don't know. Maybe Maggie can confirm that. But we will. I'll put it up here for now. No, that's not going to work because that's going to be right in the camera. We'll put it somewhere. We'll figure that out. But thank you, Trader Pratt, for the Palantir hat. Trader Pratt in the building. I don't know if we have an update on memes and movers. Are we going with that today, Valeria? Or do you know? Are you guys going live today with memes and movers? No. Okay, oops. Sorry about that. So we will be going with memes and movers soon, but thank you, Trader Pratt. It's great, absolutely fantastic to be back. It's great to see you guys, and especially Greg and Pratt and Valeria and everybody as well. But let's go over to Affirm here quickly. So we're back, so we don't have to talk about vacation too much. But there it is. So again, anytime you're dealing up with Amazon, we've seen a few different stocks run on various news with Amazon, and then Affirm's just going to be another one today. It does make that move up. I'm kind of feeling like the euphoria that happened, between like 8:30 and 9 here, where this thing went up basically straight up without even really thinking about coming back down, right up to 102, 103. To me, that makes sense now as that possibly being something of a level up here at 102, 103. The reason why we didn't get out is really because there was, in my opinion, it's not a heavy trade. If we had hundreds of shares or thousands of shares, something like that, then $5 probably would have been something that we would have looked at there. But it's relatively light. It is a pre-market trade. We do talk about that all the time, and I don't want to put too much money into these trades because Arun and I still have shutdown territories, right? Like the last thing we want to do is lose enough money that we now have to be battling back so much when the market actually opens. That's my sort of theory anyways. I don't mind putting on a lot of risk when the volume's going to be there and some of the key levels are going to be there. So we'll wait. But right now it looks like we did look at a firm and we didn't take the profits. So I'm going to look at this as coming back up to 103. And we'll see if that's going to be a level to get out at. I'm not going to get out now. We've took this all the way up. We can take it all the way back down as well. So this $94, I wrote it on here, that huge support level should be at 94. That's going to be hard to see. It doesn't matter. That's on the sticky note. You can find that. The post will be up there on our chat. But that was a good buy on this 97.50 break. We just should have took more advantage of it. But hey, I don't have that crystal ball. This thing could be at 110, right? So we'll see where it goes. I'd like to get longer if I'm able to get some dip buys into here. We can see what it did on Friday, 6:30. I mean, when the news came out, obviously it ripped up to 95, 96 there. Maybe I'll pull my chart back a little bit. Actually, there is nothing. It just started at 95. So, 6:30, 14:30 there, 16:30, 4:30, it comes out, and then we start bouncing around this 94 area. So for me, that's the area of support. Long story there, Arun, but that's what I'm looking at. 94 support. We'll see if we can get lower bids, and then we'll see about taking it off around 103. But honestly, I mean, we still have 25 minutes to go. I'm already kind of losing my voice here, and we still have 25 minutes to go, Arun. So I'm going to ask I'm going to go get my water in a minute because I do see that you are Hydration Nation right
Absolutely,
now, and that's in the building. But I like a firm to go back to that 102.50. Is there anything that's catching your eye?
I agree with you with that. That area, 95 going all the way down to 92 is where the support is. So if you're going to catch a bounce, I would look at 95 and change, 92 on the stop. It's going to be about $3.5 to $4 in risk. If you're looking for a bounce off the open or some sort of bounce play on a firm, that would have to be the zone. I agree with Sean with the area. Something we've missed, futures. Let's get right into it since I'm already here. Futures, well, man, Friday, when we took out 4,500, we took some time with it, but we finally got above. We worked the zone. Here we are above 4,500, now trading 45.12. Well, it's not really giving you a whole lot of opportunity. At 45.12, I see this, the support is going to be around 4,500 going down to 44.90. So I'm looking at 44.90 as the back end support line. So if we can get into the 45.05, 4,500 even, I refuse to pay up to 45.12. There's no way I want to pay up this high, but maybe if we can get down into the 45.05 going on down, there might be a support play. I'm looking for a support long with 44.90 as a stop. That's the only thing you can really work with. Futures are quiet right now. They're only up 0.16% on the S&P 500. It's August, it's late August. It's not surprising that we're quiet, but the moves are still happening, but they're doing it so slowly that sometimes you're kind of just like lost. You're lost. If you miss your one entry, you're lost because then the risk is just out of control with the trades, right? So why I'm looking for that 45.05 and change going down to 44.90, that's the only trade. Now, if we flip and break the 44.90, that opens a door for the short, and I would prefer shorts than continuing to buy this slow grind to the upside. I feel like downside moves, especially with this kind of environment, opens the door for aggressive moves, right? In any situation, downside moves always end up being more aggressive because a lot of people are trying to get out at the same time, kind of making the move even worse. But given how the futures have been working this 4,500 zone, it kind of would set up a nice little trap there after breaking 4,500, kind of going up a little bit and then completely falling apart. Yeah, that seems a lot more appealing than to continue on buying these longs. But you know what? The market does what it wants to do. If we come back into that mid 4,500 range, maybe the long is there, but I would prefer a 44.90 break. That's the only level I've got. 44.90 is the only level I'm going to be working with for the day. Hopefully, though, with the month ending, hopefully we get some action. Keep in mind, it's a long weekend next weekend, or a long weekend coming up. So the volume is going to be, I would imagine the volume is going to be fairly quiet on Friday. So if anything, whatever volume we're going to get is going to have to be done by Thursday to get some sort of movement. And I would imagine with the month ending in the next couple of days, there should be some activity towards the close, at least for today and tomorrow. If there isn't, then we may be in for a long little grinding session until we get to the holiday, minus any numbers that come out.
Yeah, more all-time highs for the market. Let's have a look at a quick headline here, guys, for Robinhood. So they've gone ahead and announced the partial exercise of IPO underwriters' option to purchase more shares. So 158.5 million, it looks like, worth of additional shares. No reaction here to Hood, but holding under $50 there for Robinhood, worth a note. Let's talk about some of the vaccine makers. There's a headline for both Moderna and Pfizer today. It was New Zealand that announced the first death related to the Pfizer BioNTech mRNA vaccine, specifically related to myocarditis. It's the only one that's been announced. The stock isn't really reacting to it, but worth a note this morning. Moderna down, guys. Remember last week they talked about Japan took 1.6 million doses off of shelves because of contamination. This morning, they announced an additional 1 million doses have come off the shelf because of contamination. Apparently, multiple deaths related to that for Moderna, guys.
Moderna has been quite an active stock to trade, and it's been great, especially around that 385, 380 mark. We were looking at this all of last week. We were looking at potential support in the low to mid 380s with the 380 even stop, and then we finally got that break. Well, we got a false break on a late in the morning on Friday, but then we finally got the break overnight. I'm just kind of a little bothered by the fact that we're so far away from that point, because if we were closer to 380, that's an automatic entry. You get into that right now, and then you put the stop at 390 and you walk away from it and see how far it wants to go down. Now we're sitting at 372. You probably would have, if you had taken that trade, you probably would have taken some profit already, and you're kind of just like working the middle a little bit. At this point, I don't know if I'd want to automatically get into 380. I don't think I will at all. I'm not going to put an order out there, but I'd be open to the idea of getting it up there, and maybe if it slows down, you take a shot, you take the same trade, the 380 short with the 390 stop. That's an option. The second option is 370 and change, but just be careful with 370. There seems to be, I'm going back to the 20th of August, there seems to be some hesitation late in the morning, not late in the morning, late in the pre-market before we broke 370. So I'd be careful about the 370 break, but I'd be open to the idea of taking it after it clears 368. On the move back up, I think there's a short potential down here on the move down below 368 with a 370 entry potentially and 375 stop. So it'll cost about $5-6. But if you get that trade, I think you have a clear downside move, at least to 363. That'll get you 1-to-1 risk reward. After that, it's all profit, right? So there is a potential for the breakdown. I'm just waiting to see how we trade below 370 before I can look for that short on Moderna.
Yeah, so you talked about Moderna there. We can go over and have a quick look now at Pfizer. So first of all, GSAT, I mean, again, congratulations and thank you for the kind words of people on the chat already making their days with GSAT and everything. I just wish I would have followed my own rules there. We talked about getting out of this GSAT rate when it came up to this 260 level. We talked about that numerous times. It comes up to 265 and completely turns around off these same levels. So I feel a little silly now not taking that one out. I'm pretty happy with how we treated AMC so far today, you know, in here at 41.50, out 75, out again at 42, and we'll let that one rip a little bit as well. And then GSAT and then Affirm right now, still $2 in the money, so we're still okay with that one. We'll see where that goes. But I don't mind Pfizer play here. We talked about why we like Pfizer, again, for the dividend, although the dividend's not as much anymore because of the appreciation in the stock, but you're still going to catch 2-point-something%, I believe. Anyways, I'll have to double check that on Pfizer, but you are coming down. This is a 1-minute chart, so if you're going to play momentum, you could definitely see the trend right now is not your friend if you're looking for any longs, but we do have this 46 level that we've sort of, I mean, very similar to sort of what you're talking about there with that 370. I got something in my eye. The 370 there on Moderna. You do have 46 and change on Pfizer, so we'll look at that level as something to be refreshed. No matter what, I mean, I see people talking about the vaccine being a joke or not a joke or whatever, and that's not, obviously Arun and I aren't here to make comments on other people's, you know, well-being and things like that as far as vaccines and healthcare is concerned, but you do have to watch the stocks because they're the ones that are moving right now, and especially in the summertime, we do want to find stocks that do have some volume. So please, when you're trading these names, the only thing I can tell you is don't, and we've done this a lot before too, and I've done it on the show numerous times. Like I'm a holder of DraftKings, and we haven't even talked about Palantir yet. By the way, we'll put the hat on in a second. But you know, don't trade your own sort of thoughts on the macro level of a stock like that. We are trading day trades here. So I really think that if you don't believe in vaccines and things like that, you maybe want to take a longer term approach on shorting some of these names. But for right now, I think that you got to look at levels and you got to just keep it real with what's happening with some of these stocks. So I like a bid down to 46. Let's see what happens. Let's take a quick look here at the imbalance locator as we are getting a little closer on time here. Again, I don't know what's up with this MGM. I don't think it's anything. We looked at the chart. It's not really moving. CCL, what is that at? 20? Yeah, okay, so I was going to say 25. So 24.60 right now. That's going to be something that we can look at today. Only 75,000 shares. Wish it was a million. And then AMC, like, you know, this is supposed to be a name. Well, you know, I don't want to call these a meme stock, but I mean, it is. So, you know, AMC with only 100,000 right now on the bid side of room. So some of these stocks, you know, not super exciting, although 1.5 million on AMC is a pretty good one. That's why we'll continue to watch Root. We'll continue to watch some of these other names that are falling. We have a few other ones on the list here that we should probably get to, including ASTR. And I guess that's maybe the only one that we have left, Brendan.
Yeah, let's get to Chinese stocks first. Well, I want to talk about Alibaba because we're coming back a long way from pre-market highs here. But if you remember last week, this entire group was just absolutely killed again, right back to recent lows here for Alibaba. In fact, down slightly, or up slightly, I should say, in the pre-market. There's no significant new news to pass along. On Friday, if you remember, Alibaba Pictures Group Limited tumbled in Hong Kong trading because some of the social media accounts of actors and actresses were closed and discontinued over in China. So, I mean, more pressure now surrounding whether or not some of these movie and entertainment related stocks might get hit.
Yeah, Baba's been it's been gapping up. One day it's been up, and then it gaps down the following day. It's been all over the place in terms of movement and just overnight gaps. Alibaba, when it took 161, 162 in the pre-market, that was our best chance. You see it in the chart here. This is a zoomed out 5-minute chart with multiple days of information. You see the trend, right? You see the trend from the 173 high, 174 high, coming on down. Every move up seems to be lower and lower. So clearly there's a trend to the downside. We are coming down to that 160. We kind of stabilized, found some volume, working the bids a little bit. And our best chance to go up was when we took out 162 in the pre-market. Now the fact that we're actually failing off of that 162 move back down to 160. If we clear 158, I think all of this now turns into resistance and you can actually play the short side of this. So for now, I'm just looking at how is Baba going to react to this 160? Because that'll be critical on what it does into the open, right? If we can stabilize and find some buyers, then we may have a shot towards 162.50, the high, or at least a pre-market high, and then a shot towards 165, which would be the resistance from Thursday, I believe. If we can't hold 160 and we get more selling pressure and we end up taking 158, you got to look at 153 and change as your potential first target. At this point, the way it's moving, it does look like there's some downside pressure. So we're just going to stay away. We're going to keep an eye on this because this is a trade I actually want to get involved with if we end up taking that 158. For me, it's going to be crucial on how much volume we get around 160 and whether that's along with the 158 stop or do we take the short with the 158 break and then use a stop. Whatever the stop is, that's going to have to be determined. It all it's based on how it breaks, right? At this point in time, if it broke right now, I'd say 161 would be the stop. But if we kind of took some more time, built up some more volume, then we may have a better stop to work with. But it is getting to that interesting area between 160 and 158.
Yeah, this is, what's up, Marlon? This is a Breitling Chrono, so Chronomatic here, so you guys can see that. But what's up? Thank you for the hat here. We'll wear this a little bit. We'll talk a little bit about Palantir because we have the hat on. And then we will, I mean, you just crushed it with Alibaba. I love all of those levels. We can talk about Baba quickly because it is on the sticky note here. And I did like it here. Alibaba break. I mean, I just said, look out for the support at 158.50. So there is some support down there. That's kind of where I want to look at. That was Friday's low. Well, I mean, sort of, I guess, 158.70 or so. So we'll look to average in to any kind of longs if we dip down a little bit. My first bid is actually not until 159. So I do believe that, you know, that little bit of a tank. Actually, 159 is too low. We got to put another bid up here somewhere. Maybe right in here, like 159.70. That's probably where we'll put a bid. So cross that off, you know, we'll get a bid a little bit earlier than that. Let me just cancel that 159 right now. I'll put a one a little bit earlier. But Palantir's been doing pretty good, man. I hope you guys have been enjoying the ride for Palantir. It hasn't done much last week, basically. It touches the bottom of 23.50. Looks like today we're taking out 26. So I've already called it. I mean, I called this to happen by September, October, up to $28. This level there, we got a nice earnings report right here. We break through the 50 period on Palantir, and now we're just trying to crack through some of these levels, which would be 26. So a 26 breaker today, we like that. It may only go, I mean, it only went up to 26.20 last time, but hey, if we get some momentum going, let's see what happens. Back on Friday, so this is the 26 break that we're talking about. We broke it and we only went up to 26.10. So we can see what happens here today through 26. So I do like a 26 break as well here on Palantir. So we'll wait to see where that goes now. But Palantir, nice little mover through 26. We like that. We like Alibaba to get up some longs through that 158, and if it breaks down through 157, then we'll be gone off that. So this should be good. Let's wait to see where we go from here.
All right, Bridgeline Digital just popping up here, guys. Another one that was in the works, I guess, when it came to some of those squeeze stocks way back when. This one's still 40 million market cap, 8 million float, 5.5% on the short side there. But I'll show you this. Bridgeline Digital investing in Hawk Search Big Commerce Integration. So another little one starting to go here, guys. BLIN up about 30%. You can see that monster volume spike came in there as we broke through $6 even. Let's talk about Tesla. We're getting on time here, guys. Let's talk about Tesla. GLJ Research, citing a source familiar to the manufacturing that happens over in China, saying that Tesla has sold 10,400 vehicles in August. Remember, their July numbers were down significantly month over month, so they're suggesting that Chinese numbers in August for Tesla going to be down again for the third straight month here. But the stock not really doing much here, guys.
Yeah, but the stock also doesn't care. It just wants to go where it wants to go. And right now, it seems like they want to go towards the 717 and change, because that's around the area. We're around that 715, 714, all the way up to the high on the 25th. It seems to be around 717 and change. We have been working this area pretty much all of last week, right? The fact that we refuse to back away from this now and slowly grinding from 710 to 712 on Friday, and now we're at 714, 715, back into this range. We're either going to break right through and this is going to explode to the top, or this is going to be a complete failure if it gets below 710 and goes towards that 700, 698 point. And if that goes, and at that point you got to look down below, so towards 685 and 680. But the way it's moving, it does look like they want to at least take a look at 717 and see what's up there. If this breaks out and gets going, I think you really don't have any targets to the top. So for anyone who's willing to trade a $700 stock, I repeatedly say my cutoff is 500, so Tesla is a no-go for me. But anyone who's willing to take that shot and you're willing to put up the risk, I think the reward could be there. If you get that explosion, you could easily see a 730, at least 720 to get some stops, and then 730 could get you there by the stops. So for now, it does look like Tesla, even though it's up just under 0.5% at the moment, that's like $3 on the stock. It does look like it wants to take a look at the top end of the range, which is around 717 and change.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, great. I mean, I don't. Look, we could talk about the 500 mark there and why you're looking at certain price levels and things like that. You got to trade what you're most comfortable with. So if Tesla's going to be off the radar, that's cool. At the same time, there are some key levels that Ruud just hit those out, and I think he's right. I mean, I don't think Tesla really does matter too much to some of these news reports. They kind of be doing its own thing. We talked about buying this thing hand over fist near the low 600s. I was able to get a little bit more money in there. My prices, I wasn't early, but I got some really at a great price back there in the pandemic in March of 2020. So that turned out to be really great. But and I sold a little bit on it on the rebalance, and then right now we're coming back in a little bit up to 700. But this is what I'm talking about here. You can go all the way back a week, right? Last week, a week today, you were basically at 708, 709, and then we just traveled a little bit. We touched 700 last week, but it's been a very, very quiet week here for Tesla. So now it's looking to see if it can break out this week, and I just like that 717 area that Arun was talking about. I think it's worth a long through there, so we will take that through 717 and take the long there. The only problem is, what do you really think about the market The market didn't have huge moves last week, but if we're going to go negative on this down here on the NASDAQ, then obviously Tesla's going to be in a little bit of trouble. I am a little bit nervous. I'll take a small piece through 717, but I am nervous that this happens early and then bang, we get hit all the way back to the downside here of like 730. Like I don't really, what I'm getting at here is I don't really like taking breakouts right now on this name, but that 717 is staring me in the face from last week, right up here. This level from the 25th, so this 717. So we'll take that long if it does break it, and then we'll see about, we have some moving averages down here at 712, 713. So I think $3 or $4 worth of risk on Tesla makes a lot of sense for me. We did see, this is what I'm talking about. We didn't take that a firm win. Now it comes right back down to that 750, 90, 750 area that we like, and we got to hold 94 now. So again, look, do they deserve to be up 43%? Probably not. But when you're in a deal here with the devil, you should be going up at least something. We saw BlackBerry go up with rumors on Amazon deal as well. So this is no rumor. This is a fact. It's been confirmed, a firm in Amazon. So we're going to wait to see if this 93 cracks on the bottom side here. So we do want to get a little more long and then try to hold a firm. I just need the market to open. So this needs to be 5 more minutes. It needs to happen pretty soon.
Let's talk about support.com here real quick, guys. Remember Thursday we were up about 40%. The stock then doubled on Friday, was up to almost $59 there at the top, gapping up again from where we ended the session on Friday. Highly shorted, low float. It has now officially as well gained its own subreddit, guys.
What stock is it? SPRT?
SPRT, yeah.
Oh, boy. Okay, I'll talk about this because well, man, SPRT was absolutely insane with all the halts. And me and Neil, we were all over the halts. He had a stellar long off the support line around 28 off a halt, and that's still the support line. That 25, 28-ish going down to 26, that is still the support line. And remember, 34 and change, that was the bottom end. It looks like we're going to bounce off of this as well. So there is a lot to work with. I'm just going to go with what I had traded on Friday, and we're going to keep using the same levels. 34 and change is the bottom end support, right? It bounced off there nicely. We're up 260 and change. But given how fast this thing moves, you don't get too excited with $2 winners because, well, the spread can close. It's not even really a spread issue, but it's just like, look at that. I mean, like the spread is like 20 cents at the moment, but this thing closes the gap. And like it'll drop bids like it's nothing. So for now, we are looking at 44 through 46. I am looking long and long only because I refuse to pay for shorts. I don't even want to know what the prices for shorts are. Because when I paid for shorts on Friday, they were like 60 cents a share. It was ridiculous. But we made the money off of it, so I'll take that, walk away. But for the long side, I'm looking at 44 and change. If we can get about 44, then technically we can take a shot potentially towards the highs, the mid 50s, 54, 56. That's the only read I've got right now. 42, taking 42 kind of leads into that 42 through 44 issue where it seems to be some resistance from Friday. Again, I'm trying to make a read based on how this chart looks, right? But stocks like this, sometimes they don't care how charts look. They'll blow right through any and all levels. You're seeing it this morning. BBIG absolutely on a tear as well. So a lot of stocks are moving, and we're going to try to use charts as much as possible, but some of these names, they may just blow through levels. But BBIG, I'm looking at 44 to the upside and 34 as a support on the bottom. So we'll see how that plays out, but those are the two levels that I'm looking at on SPRT.
Yeah, I have. I was looking exactly the same as you, except for a little bit more aggressive at this 42 level. We'll see if that hits. And then I do like a 37.50 break right here. So we're going to go long a little earlier on this one. Support 37.50. Let's go long on that. We've reloaded pretty decently right now. We'll hit some fireworks on a firm right now. So nice little bid there at 96 even or so. Let's see where we go on this one. But we can't keep Brendan waiting for long. What has he got up there? A name we haven't talked about. Take it, Brendo.
Yeah, we are running out of time, guys. Real quick, KPLT. Remember going back to the beginning of the month, this thing got absolutely demolished. Went down to about 250, 275. Anyways, we're popping up nicely this morning. Two things to watch, $5 even, then $5.30 above that for KPLT. Lot of room here to the upside to regain some of that gap to the downside. Looks like it's not even going to have a chance though, but watch 5 if we get any kind of push to the upside, and then $5.30 for KPLT, guys.
All right, just a couple positions I want to talk about. AMD, you see me long. I'm long 112.58 and change. A couple entries. One was an accidental exit, so I got back in at 58. I had a better price at like 53 or something. Anyways, we're long just above 112.50 and change. Stop on this is going to be 110.5. So we're looking at a $2 risk. I feel like we've got enough support above 12.50. We've got enough support above 12. We kind of stayed above that marker. We were hesitating on Friday around 111.80, 111.60. We got above it, and it seems like we're going to break out one more time. So I'll go ahead and take a shot. The imbalances came out slightly negative, apparently, on AMD. So we are backing off that 80 mark and down towards 112.60, back into being flat. Now, the other trade I've got is CCL to the upside. 24.60, you see this consolidation. Looks like we've got above there. The reason I'm also taking this is because back on the 25th and the 26th, it seems like we were hesitating around 24.40 and change. So the fact that we're willing to kind of go sideways above it, why not take a shot? The risk on this is about 40 cents or so. See if we can get to 25. That'll get me a 1-to-1 risk reward. And then from there on out, we can manage this trade and see how we can get, if we can get a runner through 25, that could be really good as well. For now, though, I'm carrying those two trades into the open. And we got about 30 seconds, Sean.
Yep, exactly. So 30 seconds ago, we've averaged into a firm. We're also looking to get some more shares on AMC. We'll play off this 41 break. If that happens, we'll be out of that one. And then here goes the firm with only 15 seconds left. Oh, who has the countdown? Oh, do I? There it is. I'll hit it right now. So here go Valeria. Hopefully the countdown, she's back there. Yeah, there it is. As it's coming through now, we'll wait to see if the firm gets back to $100. 3, 2, and 1. So there we go. We are now open. A little delayed on the bell there. So good job there, Valeria. Thank you for hitting that on time for us. 99.96. So right now our average price on a firm is 97.30. Let's see where we go from here. We could flush down. We are watching out for that 94 spot there, guys. AMC off to the races. Up to 42 and change. Let's go AMC. 50-cent winner right now.
All right, what I'm looking at is Moderna. Moderna took out that 358 or 368 and change. Let's see how much trading we can get done right now. It does seem like it's going to be a little hesitant, so we're going to wait, give it a chance, see if it wants to bounce back up. If it doesn't, 368 on the short side with a 375 stop, so $7 risk on that. And one stock that I'm seeing just initially, right off the bat,
yep.
Wow, GM.
What's that one to do?
Yeah, that is off $1 off the open. It went from 50 all the way to 49 and change. I don't know what's going on with that, but that was just an insane open on GM.
Crazy, crazy, crazy. We'll face slap ourselves as well. Nice little win here. Look at this, Arun. $2. Put it on the board. Yes, a small little win right there for Tesla. Out 7.17 in, out 7.19 there. So that's a nice little win. Now go Affirm. Let's go, buddy. Let's get up to $100 again if we can. $1 in the money on Affirm as well. 50 cents in the money on this one. And then support goes through 37.50, Arun. So we'll wait to see that goes up to 38 or so. So right now we do have, wow, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. We just get Neo on a low bid as well. Man, Arun, I have 6 positions right now, all the long side. Let's hope this market continues to go. Let's go. There goes support.com as well, Arun. A nice little $1 in the money on this one, man. Mamma mia, where are you, Neil? Hopefully you're having some pineapple pizza as we continue to go to the upside. A big, big win here, guys. Let's take out some support for $1.
All right, a couple of shots here. AMD up $1 and change after bouncing right off that 12.50. This is exactly what we're looking for on AMD. A nice support bounce. We're going to let this go. We really don't have any targets to the upside on AMD. CCL somewhat. CCL is coming off a little bit. It's out 20 cents or so. It seems like that 24.50 is going to be tested. So we're going to give it a chance, see if we can't hold. Another trade I'm looking at right now, LI Auto. LI Auto is falling right off here, off the open. They took 29 and change, so why not take a shot on the break of 29? You see this consolidation. 29.20 is going to be the preferable entry, but you know what? I don't want to have to miss on the trade. So you know what? 29 change, 28. Just in front of 29, that's where I'm looking for on the entry. 29.50 is going to be the stop. So we're going to put about 50 cents in risk on LI Auto on the short side. And that's it. Two longs, 1 short, potentially if we get the fill. And it does look like CCL is going to come off a little bit right now.
Yep, and then here goes Tesla, still up nicely, $3. It was a $5 winner. They're up to 7.22. So maybe we'll put an offer there on Tesla and see if we get out at 7.22. But it's ripping to the upside right now. Nice little $4, $5 winner here on Tesla. So yeah, I see someone say the Commons Trader is back. And on that note, let's get it with a bang with a nice little start to the day. We did take some out there on Affirm as it does break. We get those 99s basically, 98.75 or so for a nice win on Affirm. On some averages in, you can see where the price is 96.86. We did get a nice little average in. We should have taken it all out, but again, we'll wait to see. I still have faith in you, Affirm. There goes SPRT, man. Arun, how about that one? Let's spin it. I don't know if this has been happening last week or not.
No,
let's
it hasn't
go.
been.
Not at all. Okay,
No.
so we're back, baby. The money is back, flowing hopefully into your accounts as well as SPRT at $1.50, $1.60 in the money. Now with SPRT, we just took out half for for $2. So we're back, baby. And then now here we go again. Whoopsies. Put some keystroke errors. We don't like to do that. But then there we go. Just looking at Tesla. Sorry, it wasn't keystroke error. Looking at Tesla up to 722. Should we or should we not take this $5? I think we should. Up to 722 and still making moves. We making money moves now. What out to Cardi B as we continue to go. 722, 723. Let's continue to go on this one. $2 winner on SPRT. $5 winner right now on Tesla as we wait to see what else is happening. NEO, not too worried about it, but it is starting to fall down a little bit. We do have 37.75 looking out for us.
Yep, a lot of stocks, well, one stock taking off, but most of them taking off to the upside. CCL, I ended up getting out for a 40-cent hit on that. AMD still going strong, 113.70 and change. Root, big dog Root, bouncing off that 8 even and now working the top. Remember, 850 is where we want to see how much buying we're going to get off of. Previously, there's been a lot of selling up there. So let's see if we can actually get above there and stabilize on Root. And the other one I'm going to try to get on is Square. Square, wow, through 272. Bouncing off that 270 support. That would be a great long with a what was the stop on that? 267 and change, I think, is going to be my stop on Square. If we can catch that long around that 271 mark. I'm not going to chase it through 273, but I would like to see how it reacts around 271. If we come off of this, you could easily go for the 274 breakout high as well. I'd like to control the risk on this because that'll be a little too much in terms of risk for me. So why not let it come back down and see if we can grab a fill on SQ. And I'm also trying to get a fill on a Moderna to the short side off that 368 and change. We talked about that level as well. And there goes AMD even higher. What's up, Brendan?
This ASTR, guys, Astrospace, who was on the watch list as well, down significantly still, but monster volume there at the open, trying to test some of these pre-market resistance areas for ASTR.
And thank you so much to my man Prad right now, because check out the hat right now. We have the Palantir investor hat going through. And look at this monster win, man. Fire off the hot dogs for Palantir. We talked about this, Arun, breaking through 26, and there it is. There's the love that we all wanted to get on this one. It's a hot dog kind of day right now for Palantir as we're long at 26. And look where we cash out. We don't even start the party until 10s, 20s, 25s, 30s, 36, 36.50 or so. Man, what a great move that was. And again, thank you to Prad for the Palantir investor hat as we'll hold this one and see where we go from here on that. Unfortunately, though, I'm just noticing this right now. SPRT ripped up and apparently hits 42. So we did go long 42 there. So my average price isn't going to look great right now, 41.50. But again, we did take it out there for $3. So right now we're giving some of this money back on SPRT. Unfortunately, it does hit that 42 and comes right back. That's basically a nail in the grave right there. We're not happy with that. That shouldn't happen. Like normally we'd go the other way when something like this hits. So this is not good for us. It takes out that high and then just falls right back in. I wish I would have seen it and been on it, because on that fail, that's definitely worth getting some out. So I'm going to put an offer here right around 40 to see if we can't cash out a little bit, limit the damage just a little bit on that one. But you know what's not damaging, man? Let's go. Oops. Shoot. I just spilled, it's okay. I spilled some coffee on Yay Sticky Note.
I'll take that.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Arun. Look at this guy. Very, very
All right, well, let's take a look at Microsoft, because that's one trade I'm looking at right now. Apart from the short on Moderna that we've got, that's 50 cents out with the spread, and we've got $1.65 in AMD. We're looking at Microsoft 303 and change. Ooh. We are getting through this 302 zone, it seems like. So you know what? If we can get 303, we can use 302 as a stop. So that's what I'm looking at right now. We're 13 cents from taking the top on Microsoft, and that's the next one, right? It does look like tech wants to go. So you know what? When tech wants to go, the market goes with it. Let's take a quick look at the market. The market is doing what? We went as high as 45.16, but we're back down to 45.12 and change. So it does seem like there's bursts of volume to the upside, but unsustainable, at least for the moment. Market may want to take a pause and take a breath and see if it wants to keep on going. But a lot of these tech stocks, well, the big tech stocks at least, Microsoft, I know Facebook was moving, that came off of the alert as well, and Square was coming off a little bit. Now we're coming back into that 371 and change, see if we can't catch along on Square, and Moderna finally going in the money $1. So, but Moderna in the dollar isn't a whole lot. It's not really exciting because you know what? You're putting up like $6-7 in risk. You're looking for a $10 winner. You're at least 1-to-1 give you $6 winner. So we're gonna have to wait on Moderna before we get a little too excited on that. And here goes Microsoft. Microsoft was flirting with that 303, and it kept going back and forth. I wanted to see how well we were gonna support this long to the upside. It seems like we finally got through any sort of hesitation. So now we're going to step into the long. 302 is going to be the stop on Microsoft. It's going to be a dollar stop, right? Well, I'm going to sit in front of 303. I'm not going to chase this. It is trading at 303.26 on the offer at the moment. So we are going to wait for a fill on the way back down. And there goes Moderna, $1.66. So Moderna is starting to finally get going to the downside and see if we can't get this to actually get really moving. Because then, you know, these stocks, if they get going, especially these $300 stocks with news on them, if they get going, they can really get going.
Okay, we're going to get a little bit out here on SPRT as it's coming back in. We're just sort of licking our wounds a little bit. It goes up to 41.50. Let's see. I mean, I'm still happy with it. It just needs to go. Let's see if we get on another piece here. We'll do it. There it is. A nice little piece out. So, wow, we are rocking and rolling, man. This is a $7 winner right now with Tesla, but we can't leave Brendan. What's up, Brando?
A little fintech name we've looked at many times, guys. Ideanomics, which is IDEX. They announced this morning they're acquiring this Via Motors, which is in the EV space. $630 million, all stock. Deal. So IDEX up on huge volume, guys.
What is going on? I mean, I don't know. I guess Palantir, Brendan, is just a move because we are straight up to the upside here. No cap at all. Hey, what's up? If you guys saw Donda got released by Kanye, no cap means no swearing in that whole album. So I give him congratulations to that one. The album was good. Well, I'll talk to Trader Pratt about what he thought about Donda. There's a few good tracks there. Jail with Jay-Z and stuff like that. But okay, let's go. So there he goes, a nice little win for Palantir, man. Our day is just through the moon right now as we continue to go. We take one more shot here on NIO. And again, this is the kind of dip that we're waiting for. We talked about that. We're going to give it back to 37 on this one. Small little buy early on the dip. We talked about defending this 38. We're unable to defend it. It just crashes right through. So this is not something I don't want to average in. I mean, with the NASDAQ ripping here and Tesla $6 in the money, you know, we can afford to take a little bit of a shot here. Obviously, there's not a problem with the EV space. There's a problem with Chinese names. So right now, and if NIO can get off its schneid here a little bit, then I think we can get a nice little win on this one. But for right now, we are, like I just said, licking the wounds here with NIO because, you know, it's not moving for us. And I'm talking negative like this. We're 20 cents out of the money on NIO. So not the end of the world. Palantir still at the day's high. We're still holding a third of this trade, believe it or not. So we still have lots of shares on board on this one. And then that was a great out up there on SPRT. Not a good in right there, but a couple good outs licking the wounds of this one. So now it does show us long 41.40, but, or sorry, not 41.40, 42.14. So it's not a huge trade there for me. Not a huge loss, sorry, because we were able to get out a little bit, especially there for flat. So now we'll wait to see where it goes. And then AMC, guys, this has been another good one for us. We'll do some backflips as we reloaded AMC down here at, that was I talking about 41.40, got some out at 42, and now we're trying to take out days high here on AMC as that's starting to go. So the only problem right now is not Tesla as we're taking out new highs right now. This is going to be a $10 winner here. I think we should probably look at taking this out as the NASDAQ's coming back in. A breakthrough 724 maybe is going to be our out here on TSLA, guys.
All right, so a couple exits. We're getting it, well, a couple entrants. Let's talk about the entries first because that's crucial. I'm trying to get myself into BA, Boeing on the short side, 221 and change. I think breakdown there gets you an option. It's trading $2 below already, but I like the setup that I'm willing to let it come back and get me a fill. 221 with the 223 stop, so $2 in risk there. I just took Moderna. Well, there goes Moderna, $4.50 in the money.
Yeah,
we can start tightening up the stops on Moderna as it gets going. Remember, this was meant to be one of those $6 to $10 winners just to get one-to-one risk reward on the short on Moderna. AMD, we took some profits on AMD. It's starting to stall out around 114. So, hey, you know what? $1.50 ain't too bad on AMD. So we'll take out some. We'll leave the rest to ride. This is going to be just below 113 on the remaining. So we'll walk away with like maybe 10, 15 cents if it breaks 113. Otherwise, we're going to let it go and see how far we can get in profits. And another trade I just got my hands on is Microsoft. I talk about this. And Microsoft, 300 break, right? 303 break. And we were looking for this. This took off all the way up to like 50, 303, oh no, 303.80 and change. I stopped looking at it at 303.50. And here it goes, comes back in. I like the long, I like the setup. The way it's been breaking this 303, we got that support at 302. So you know what? $1 and change in risk is going to be worth it for me on Microsoft. Our first target is going to be around 305. So we're going to try to get $2 on the first exit. First target, it'll be 2-to-1 risk reward ratio on that. And what it looks like Moderna's coming off a little bit. So we got to protect our positions on Moderna here, see if we can actually get some more exits here, try to cash out something, because it was $4 in the money, now it's $2 in the money, and you know how Moderna gets. It gets a little spicy at times. So sometimes you'll go from in the money to out of the money very quickly. So we do have to protect that. And there goes Microsoft bouncing off that 303 back towards it was a little bit higher, but now it's back to 303.13. That's not too exciting, but it was like 25 cents in the money at one point. But for now, 2 longs, 1 short, all of them in the money. Moderna being the biggest one at 227, and we've cashed out AMD for $1.50, and it is coming back a little bit, so that was the right decision. Making some profit on AMD as it comes back in. Let's take a quick look at the futures here. Futures coming back after trying to get high again. Look at that, off the 15, 45.15, and backing off once again. So clearly, we're running into some selling up here that's gonna stall this market a bit. Hey, I like the long at 45.05 and change if we can get a setup. So sure, I'll take the selling up here, see if we can get this market back down towards 4,500 to catch a bid off that. Brennan, what's up?
Medical equipment maker Hillrom Holdings, guys, moving on some deal talks apparently with Baxter. So this HRC, 9.5%, big move today on volume as well. This is all-time highs for HRC, guys.
Good. I actually did a co-op with Hillrom there for accounting, medical equipment. You already talked about that, beds and stuff like that. So that was many, many years ago. Now we trade them. So we'll watch for Hillrom there. Okay, yeah, just a brief little update here. We did average in. This is not looking great. We're positive on the stock as of now, but right now we are long 95.70. We're stuck here. We did talk about that 92.50 as being our out. So just got to make sure that that still is there. Yeah, well, 93 break, sorry, as our out. So we'll take a little bit off if it does break 93, and then we will wait for lower 92s, things like that. I don't really, again, this is kind of new territory for them. I don't like this action that they've been doing so far today. Obviously, we had that big euphoria run off the open. We didn't take any profit. That was silly. And now we're right back to the upside there. So we're going to get out of that one. Tesla cracks through 722, breaks through that VWAP. So we'll take it, man. We did like your Moderna trade, and I don't know how that's working out for you right now. But we did leave a little bit of money on the table that we did not obviously mean to do. Well, we meant to do it because we saw it up here and we didn't take it out. But Tesla does come out there. Look, I'll take a $5 winner, man, on this one. So we put that in our pocket, and now we just move on from it. So that's that $5 winner. So now the only problem that we have right here, and thank God we got light on SPRT, and Arun warned us about this one when we came in here, that it was a crazy wild ride for us on Friday and Thursday, things like that. But support is coming right back to the downside here. I don't have that many shares. You guys saw me when we got that. I called this the death wish right there, because it takes out this 42 and then just comes crashing back down. So we did know that there was going to be a problem there. And with that being said, we did get some out here at 40 and then again at 41.50. So we really did absorb a lot of that hit. But now looking back to the downside, you have to try to find out where there's some support on support. And we talked about 32. So maybe we'll take one more bid down here, see if we can work this. But we do have our out ready to go on SPRT. But right now it's Valeria at the big screen.
Hey guys, a lot of traders on the chat talk about Meta Materials this morning. Stock spiked to the upside at the open. Could you please take a look at MMAT for us?
MMAT, yeah, we can take a look at MMAT, up 23%. Oh, that's quite the spike here off the morning. Okay, let's take a look. Let me put this up on the main screen here. MMAT up almost 0.25%. Well, now down 23%. Or up 23%. After taking 520 all the way to 580, what I'm noticing across the board is a lot of stocks that were running strong at the open have now turned around quite a bit. AMD being that exit. Remember, we got some out at 114, then we kind of scratched the remaining half with a 15-cent winner. Quite a turn. I noticed that on Square as well. Square came off as well. MMAT doing the same thing. So it does look like the market wants to rotate a little bit. Surprisingly, though, Microsoft's still going strong. So just be aware that there's a little rotation happening. I'm not sure how widespread it is, but it does look like there's some rotation across some names that were moving strongly off the open. So MMAT, you've got some support around 5. You've got some support going down to 470 and change. I would argue 440 would have to be your stop. If you're looking for a bounce, anyone who's looking for dip buys, I know everybody wants to do dip buys, but just be careful. Given this kind of reversal action, when it comes down aggressive, you're going to need to get some confirmation that the volume to support the long is still there around 5 and 480. If that's the case, then I would use 440 as a stop for me, though. If I'm going to make those kind of plays, I'd rather make them in plays that in stocks that actually have, I won't say large volume traded, but like the bigger names, the larger caps, right? MMAT, you don't know how much buying is left. Is this already overvalued and wants to come back down because there's not going to be enough support buying down here? Or is this one of those situations where it's just going to come down to 5 and then go to 10, right? And so I'd rather not take that chance and trade this one. But I am looking at some trades specifically with Moderna. What am I going to do with Moderna? It's bouncing. You see me trying to get out. I was trying to get out there on Moderna. Looks like we're out. We're going to get out with what is Moderna? It's like a 20-cent win on Moderna. It kind of bounced right off that 363. That would have been a $5 winner, but I mean, we were looking for 360 at least. We're going to watch how 363 traded, and then if that was the case, if they were going to, get aggressive like this, then I was going to move out of the way, and that's exactly what I did. Take my 20 cents, walk away. You see it already at 372, right? So this is already quite the move right off the bottom. This is getting aggressive. It's at 374 now. Moderna spiking back to the upside, and we just kind of sidestepped the move. And that's sometimes you've got to kind of walk away from some trades you thought you were going to go in one direction with, and then it does this. The trade for me is still there. 375 would be the stop, but I need to see some more action. Let's get above there. Let's get into the mid 370s and then stall out, come back into low 370s, and then we can go after the short there as well. But for now, we got two longs. We got that Microsoft trade long 303 and change, and there it goes, 70 cents in the money off the 303 long. We're looking at 305. Let me put that order out right now, actually, on Microsoft. And the other trade that I actually have right now is 304.96. That's the exit on Microsoft there. And the other trade I've got is ASTR. We were talking about this with Brendan earlier. ASTR down 18%. Is it down 18%? Yeah, it's down 18%. And it's just one of those trades that was kind of basing out. Looks like they want to find support around 9 even, as low as 870 and change. And now we're above 950. So I think taking a shot here with 920. What was my stop? 20 cents. No, the risk on this trade is like 30-something cents, just below 920. So of course I'm going to let it go and see how far we can get with ASTR. That is a low name, a low price name. I'm all over that one. So hey, what's the target to the upside? Oh, we're looking at 1050. That's the first target. I'm looking to make at least $1 on this risk. I risk 40 cents, 30 cents and change. Hey, let's try to make $1. We have no targets. The first target would be 1050, but there's really nothing stopping us from getting there. If this thing wants to go, this thing can get going, and 1050 would be the first target. What's up, Brendan?
No little one going here, guys. Sphere 3D. We saw this one make a decent move on Friday as well. Another low float type, highly shorted stock. Just broke 6 there on a monster volume spike. So heading to recent highs up here on the daily chart, 640 area for any.
All right, some great trades there. Thanks, Arun, for some of those trades there. Those were big ones. So we'll look to see that. Microsoft, I mean, I love Softy, so great call there. Unfortunately, though, I wasn't able to get out of any Affirm. We reloaded into this long off that 92 break, and then it goes all the way to 94, putting us right back to actually flat on the session for the stock. But, I mean, I kept chasing all the way down. I had a 93.90 offer. I had a 93.75. And instead of hitting the market key, man, I just kept on hitting limit keys, and we never got filled. So now we're waiting at 92.40. Let's see if we can get 93.40. Let's see if we can make $1 on what we have, and then we have decent position. So if it can rip up to the upside, hopefully we can get back up to VWAP here, but Affirm hasn't been looking strong. Like the spread though, that's what's really killing me on some of these outs, man. Like the spread is like 60 cents when it opens up. So darn it, hopefully, I don't know, that's why I'm sitting there right now at 92.40. We weren't sitting anywhere, sorry, 93.40. We weren't sitting anywhere, so we weren't able to capture too much advantage of that move. So damn it, that's my bad. But we are long at 92.40. It's at 92.60. Whatever. We're hoping for better on that one. Okay, GSAT comes all the way down, and again, we talked about getting out there at 265 and why we like that. It was just a daily chart there. It was pretty obvious. I wish I had a tick up there. I don't. What an idiot. We should have had an offer up there. We don't. Okay, let's regroup. So right now we're long. We tripled our shares up, defending that $2 area. It comes down to it. Now it's back to 218. I think this is maybe worth taking about 6-7 cents off. That's my average price, but you know it's a 10 cents winner from that very, very bottom. So I do like that. I do like that a lot. We did get out of the Palantir, majority of it down here. That's why we didn't worry too much about it, but it does come back to 96, sorry, 26. So that's not a horrible spot. Our Tesla looks like we did good there. We got out at VWAP for $5. It does come back up on this NASDAQ spike, comes back up to 723. Gave me a little bit of FOMO, but now you can see it's having a little bit of a hard time here. So we're not in love with that name at all. The other one that you looked at, ASTR. I didn't pay for shorts, but I did like a short on this name. If it does break through 8, that didn't happen, and now it's just right back to the upside. This was negative news, man. It was a failed rocket launch. That doesn't sound very good to me, Arun. No. But it is up. It's down 17%, but we did fall to graces down to 850 there. So it's a nice little move back for $1. So congratulations to anybody that caught that one. With that kind of negativity, though, that wasn't a name that I liked. So I'm off of ASTR, and let's hope to see where it goes from here. But right now, man, not my whole day, but a big part of it is on this Affirm. I've traded a lot of shares here, a lot of ins and outs. We were able to have a good success there, able to make a little bit there, but it's a negative stock for me. So let's see if we can get back. I mean, I'm sitting there at 93.40, so we just need a little bit of a ripper, but it doesn't look like it wants to go. I feel like this is going to be a losing trade for me, which sucks because it's been a decent day.
All right, so one other trade. I just stepped into Square. Remember, we were looking to see what Square was going to do around this 271-ish, see if we can actually catch a bid. If there was going to be support, we're going to go for the long. Yeah, there's enough action around 270, enough buying support that made me think, you know what, I'm going to go for the long. 271 long, you see me long, 20 to 271, 12. Okay, yeah. Accidentally, I thought it was 48. I was like, I don't want to pay to 48. But 271.12 is my average price on the long. It is ridiculously thin, though. This is the level 2 with the depth. You see it. The spread is there, but there's actually no volume. And the spread is 20 cents. And it is, if the bids drop, the bids drop. And if the offers go, the offers go. Instantly, now I'm at 40 cents or 50 cents in the money. It is crazy thin, but we are looking at 271 long with a 267 stop. So $4 in risk. But hey, you know what? The target we're looking for, if we break 274 to the upside, this trade may have another entry associated with it. So for now, we're going to be long 271 and change. I may double up on this position at 274. If I can move the stop on this, if we take 274 and I can move the stop on this, I'm definitely going to be getting in again because I treat them as two separate entries, right? I got one entry already. If I hadn't taken this one, I would still take the 274 break. So if I have that option, I might as well take that too, as long as the stops are different. And the stop has moved up, and I'm protecting the current trade already. So right now, if I can move it from $4 in risk to actually being in the money, and I can take 274 on the long, then I'll take that as well and move the stop up a little bit. So why not let it go? There goes Square and Microsoft working 303.90, so close to 304. They're working 304 at the moment. That is up 75 cents in the money at the moment. So you see me waiting in front of 305. That's the only other target I've got for Microsoft and ASTR. For now, it's 7 cents in the money. It's $9. First target is $10.50, so why not get $1 off of ASTR? But those are the only 3 trades I've got for now. We moved out of the way on Moderna, and just in time on Moderna. We were working this, trying to get it down to 360 and change, see how we played. Now that snapback, and we moved out of the way of the short, and now here it is working 367, 368. Here's the issue, 380, right? We were talking about this trade earlier. If we get to 380 and we start to stall out, that short with the 390 stop might be there. So that's one trade to keep an eye on as we move into 380 on Moderna. What's up, Brendan?
A little bit of deal making for those so inclined. Synaptics, rather, buying U.S. chipmaker DSP Group. $22 per share, guys, all cash. So if you're wondering what is going on with DSPG, that would be it, 17.5%. Huge volume here, guys.
All right, just looking here for a chat. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. So looking back here, guys, Affirm. Let's just do it, man. Let's just go bang for Affirm here, as that looks like it wants to continue to go to the upside. We did hold, and we did some decent stops here on Affirm. We did, we got out there, but then look, I tripled up back in. That's a typical move that I like to do. So, we get stopped out there. It wicks down. We notice these wicks. Not great volume, but that's just a trade that I like there. So that's a good one for me. So we take that long, and now we're $1.80 in the money on Affirm and back to positive. So thank God that started to go upside there. And then this is one, man. I don't know if you guys were trading this last week, but you should have damn well been, because right now AMC going to the moon, and we're back, baby. This was an undercover name that I haven't talked about much, but these are the buys right here. 41.50, a dip back down again to 41.50, and here goes AMC, man. We continue to rock this one. We'll fire it off. For me, these are diamond hands, baby. $3, $2 in the money. I'll take it. This is a $40 name, so that's 5% up. We have the whole move. I mean, we have the bottom tick of the day right now, and it's at the highest mark of the day, Arun. So that's not a bad trade there. We'll wait to see where that goes. GSAT, we didn't take any money out. That goes up to 220. Damn it, Sean. You have too many shares. You need to focus on this. We did take Palantir out a little bit more at 32. That was a good one. So, yeah, we'll do that. We'll come flying in on that one and make some nice money. And then here comes a firm, a nice out there at 94. It does go up to 95. Again, should have noticed a little bit there, Sean, that 95 had a little bit of resistance there and support. So when support here turns into resistance like it just did again there, that's cause for concern for me. But, hey, we're still waiting for this bottom break of 90. So whatever. If a firm you don't want to be positive for me today, then that is fine. We'll get some money back for that at some point today. So right now, a firm looking to rock and roll. And yeah, man, it's been a huge day. Really, really positive. There goes AMC. It's still taking out day's high. No real stopping spots here for AMC on a daily chart. I'm not really worried about a daily chart. Let's check out our 20-minute. Were we up this high last week? I don't know if you remember, Arun. Oh, yeah, we did. We got to, yeah, that's right, early. We talked about that, 46. Yeah, so right now, 44, an area of concern for me. Let's put an offer here around 43 and change. We looked too many of the proverbial gift horses in the mouth earlier today. Let's not do that again. So let's go 43.50 here for AMC, and then just, yeah, let's take that $2 clean on AMC and then just move on. But a good trade so far, man. This was a good one. Let's just keep on going with AMC, with Palantir, man. Big wins there. NEO trying to battle back. We talked about defending that 37, and then that's about it for me. GSAT will put an offer at 20 as well. But right now, it looks like we got to find out what's happening now with the man, the myth, the legend, Brendan Wickens at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, 10 o'clock. Let's go have a look at how things stand at this point. Bit of a mixed story. When we spoke in the pre-market, we were talking about everything in positive territory. You can see the Dow has slipped back into the red. It's the NASDAQ leading, though, about 0.5%. So tech stocks extending some of the strength that we saw to end off the week last week. The S&P about 0.25% to the upside. Small caps under pressure as well. The Russell down 0.3 here in Toronto. A bit of a negative start as well, 0.23. To the downside to kick things off here. A couple things we were talking about in the pre-market. Wanted to show you Moderna simply based on the volume. Arun was talking about it, but trying to get back above significant levels here on volume. So buyers stepping up, trying to help out Moderna. I'm going to go over two here if I can and show you the other side. BNTX, Pfizer, BNTX. Looking very similar, but this one already testing these highs. Big volume coming into BioNTech. Guys, back over to you.
Let's take a quick look at the market because I'm noticing that Facebook is near highs and what's called Microsoft did come off. I mean, we were in 60 cents in the money or so. Now we're out 25 cents. Microsoft is moving around, but again, 302 is a stop on Microsoft. I like the setup on it, but futures, let's take a quick look. 45.18. So we haven't really slowed down at all. We were kind of hesitating around that 45.15 mark, and now we're I guess we caught a bid, and here we are at 45.20. There's no way I can chase this. Like, it is so difficult to get into a market like this if the stop can't move. If you can't bring up a stop and put a level down to work with, and the only level I've got is 44.90. So if I were to take a trade now, it's going to cost me about 25, 26 points. At $50 a point per contract, and you're taking more than one contract, it gets pricey, and not worth the risk at this point, especially given how the volume is trading. So we're going to wait. Patience is the name of the game, at least in the futures. You translate some of that style over to the stocks, and what happens? ASTR in the money, 13 cents now, slowly working our way back up. Even if it's negative news, it does not care. The charts are the charts. It'll tell you what to do, and in this case, it wants to go up. At least what I saw, it was 950 break, wanted to go up. So hey, we've got 1050 as the first target on that, and Square as well going sideways, sitting around 271. This is a good thing. As long as it doesn't like crash back down, it means that support is still building around here. That kind of confirms and kind of gives me confidence to stay in this trade. And the other trade I was trying to get my hands on is Facebook. I'm still waiting on 374 for Facebook. I want to see how much more trading we get done on Facebook as we come off 374. We're above it now, but it seems to be slow treading here. There seems to be some action above it, so we're going to wait a little bit more to see if we can actually stabilize above 374, because until that happens, there's no way I'm going to step into Facebook. In this case, it'll be 374 long with a 372 stop. It'll be $2 in risk on Facebook, but we are almost in that at the for now.
All right, my man. Okay, just looking at some Palantir. We just took another piece out right there. Good trade there. And honestly, Arun, maybe I need to get some help here because, oh, shoot, we went to 44 there. AMC Rip City right now. Let's put a stop back down through 43.50, man. If we get stopped out on AMC, then hell yeah, we'll take that. I mean, we don't want to get stopped out, but we will take that a little bit because that's a big runner for us, man. $3 now, Arun, in the money on AMC. So that's a good trade back down to 43. If we crack down below 43, then we'll get out of AMC. How about that, guys? So 42.90, going to be a nice little out. So we'll take that on AMC, put our stop order in right now. And again, it's just coming back down in here. If we don't want to hold 43, then we'll get out, man. We gave that one $1 worth of move. I think that's worth it. We don't know where this thing could go. It could go moonshot. Now, I mean, it already is. Nice little, we have the whole move. Bottom tick right there, now down to the uptick. So that's going to be a good one for us. Man, we're making some cash right now. This has been a good day for us. $3 now in the money goes a firm. We talked about this. Yeah, buddy. Let's go, man. Let's get those bulls a kicking on AFRM right now as the market's starting to rally, man. Yes, sir. This is a big one for me. Really, really happy with the way this one's turning out. This is now a $3.50 winner on AFRM. Still Rip City right there. Oh, yeah. And by the way, we're actually... Let's take some chicken dinner winners out. Why not, Arun? We had chicken wings last night. Are you a chicken wing fan, Arun?
Oh, 100%.
And I just barbecued them and put on like just a little seasoned garlic, some paprika, some salt. I don't want to put pepper on because my kids, they look for those little ground pepper flakes. And if they see them on there, they don't eat it. They don't even try it because they assume that it's too spicy. But right now, we'll do it again, man. Diamond hands all over the place. As GSAT's starting to go back up, we get out of that one. We're going to go like 7 for 7 here on all these positions that we have. We're just waiting for support. That damn stock goes all the way to the downside. We're not able to really make anything on that move. Now we got to wait for this to come back up. But yeah, things are rocking and rolling now. $4 now in the money here for a firm. Let's take out one more piece, and then we'll wait to see if we can let the big one slide all the way to the upside. So 97, 96. We do make that move all the way back there for a firm. So yeah, nice move. Let's see. Look at that. Like this is what I mean by that just went up $1 and came right back down. So 90s, that's why I need to have these offers out. Let's put an offer right here about VWAP 96.30. Damn it, this is moving quite quickly.
Yeah, what's moving quite quickly? Facebook. We were just talking about Facebook and seeing how much action we can get above 374. Yeah, well, as soon as we got through 374.10 or so, it went straight up. We went as high as almost 375, but I am sitting on the bid just in front of 374. See if we can't catch it on the way back down. The way it's moving, it is crazy thin, right? Right now we're 30 cents from getting filled. But given the way it's moving, I don't even know if I can get filled. It seems to be like, well, the bids are going to go, so we're going to drop 30 cents. And then, nope, the bids are back, so we're going to go up 20 cents. It's all over the place. But I am waiting on Facebook to the buy side. Square stabilizing as well. We've still got ASTR going. And looks like Microsoft has checked below 303 to see how much buying is left. We're okay with the way it's been trading, and it's going to take some time at least. See, clearly one stock that we missed that is when the indexes go crazy, we should always look at one stock. Apple. Apple has just taken off right off the open. Well, I guess not right off the open, a minute or so after the open. The first opening range seems to be around 149.40, 148.60, and then it's the minute after that, as soon as we go, we're gone. Well, this was a 5-minute bar actually. So 5 minutes after that, once we cross 150 now, 149.50, here we are, 151.50. Apple's absolutely on a tear to the upside. If you had caught that break at least a second at the highest point we could have worked with, 151. At this point, given how it's moving, I'm already trying to get into 2 different index stocks. I'm not going to chase Apple as well. So I do want my Facebook. I do want my Microsoft. I have my Microsoft. Apple's gone, so I can't look at that. What other index stocks do we have? We have Amazon at $3,000. That's not happening. And we have Google in the thousands. That's not happening. So for now, I'm just going to work with the stocks that I have, right? I'll work the Microsoft. I'll keep the Square. I can't chase the Apple. And Facebook is 70 cents away, so I may not even get that. But the thing with Facebook, though, the way it's been trading, it's one of those orders you just leave in, and even if it kind of takes off and comes back, I'm okay with that fill. 372 with a 374 bid. I like the setup. I think that's worth a shot. Even if it goes up to 376 and comes back down, I'm okay with it. So I'll leave the order there, see if we can't get a fill. Maybe this trade ends up leaking into the afternoon show. If that's the case, that is the case. But we're going to let this one go and see if we can't get a fill later. What's up, Brendan?
A former guest on the show, Cybin Incorporated, just popping up here, guys. CYBN up 10%. Just checking on them, but a heads up, huge volume spike there on the now NASDAQ Capital Market, CYBM.AM, guys.
NASDAQ Capital Market.
Yeah, we did have them before. Cybin there coming through. We do have an interview today as well. So, oopsies, I just closed my chat. So we will look at that. Oops, I'm still not opening it. We will look at that coming soon with that name. But I just did want to talk about AMC. Was up as high as $7% there at one point. Now coming back in, it did touch 44 one more time. To me, I still want to hold this. If we break down through 43, it's like again, this is part of trading, right? And I think that this is what I do good when you're here, Arun, because you tend to hold things, longer and, give me a little bit more confidence that sometimes those are the right things to do. And we've just absolutely crushed this. A good long for AMC. It did pull back a couple times to VWAP. Normally, we would try to get out, if that does happen, but we didn't have to worry about it as we played the momentum. And again, if that's something that, like I came back today and we hit the sticky note, I mean, the names on this note, Affirm, BABA, Support, now it has coffee on it. You see that coffee spell right there? We talked about that. It's great to be back, and you got to look at those names that were moving. And if AMC is going to be one of those names, even though it was relatively quiet, it did 1.4 million shares in the pre-market, which isn't bad. It started to go, but we broke that 41.50 early, and we took that at about 8.45, which was super early, and then managed to cash it out like we always do, 50 cents or so, cash it out in the pre-market. Again, we're worried about the volume, but then it comes right back into this level again, and that's where we reloaded. And now we have the low of the day on this name, and it's still starting to go. So we have 41.40s and AMC. No reason to get out, in my opinion, until we crack through 43. I mean, I can't do that. Can't hold everything forever. And I think that's sort of what I was getting at. And on that note, I want to go back to Tesla because, if I don't get out there on this VWAP break, sure, we let the fun happen all the way to 726. We should have realized that, hey, $10 in the money, should have took that. But again, it's not a monetary thing for me. It's just when it rips like that and it just sort of gets away from VWAP a little bit on no super news. I mean, we talked about the relationship that Tesla had with some of the breaking spots, and that's why we loved 717. And I mean, we can go over that trade one more time. I do want to look at BBIG. I know you've been looking at that. There's a lot of talk. There's that 717 break right there that we really liked, and we took it all the way up. So that was a good trade. But again, always be disciplined. I mean, I love getting tweets and things like that of traders telling me, Sean, I took this trade and it's great and blah, 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 but now I'm still stuck in it. Every trade that Arun and I make, unless we tell you otherwise, especially if it's on the show, these are day trades. So we got to have our ins and we got to have our outs. If you're not going to trade with some discipline, then sometimes, guys, like I could have let this go all the way back down, but we get out there and that's going to be a reload spot that I just missed. That's all. Quite frankly, it comes right back down to 717. That was a reload spot. So you can make the same money twice, right? In and out and then back in and then back out. Sometimes it doesn't work like that because it never comes back. That's why we try to hold for that big winner. But when we talk about big winners, the biggest one is right there with Brendan. What up, bud?
One that popped up on Friday as well, guys. A couple of people talking about this Neurometrics again. Remember, teeny tiny float on this, like 5 million shares kind of float. This ends up being support a couple of times back on Friday, this 1450 area down to 14, but no additional news, down 10% for this Neuro, guys. Remember, 5.6 million free float, 7.5% on the short for Neuro, guys.
Yeah, I remember Neuro. Neil was actually all over Neuro. One trade I'm all over right now is Root. We were talking about this in the market early on this morning, and I was trying to get my hands on Root. We were trading this, remember, around 850. I took that hit, trying to go for that long, and then we wanted to see how we were going to work 850 up top, and it looks like that level held for resistance. So now here we are taking out that 720. That was the area I was, not 720, was it 720? It was around 750 actually. I wanted to see how we were gonna work 750. And then we kind of bounced through 720, back to 750, and then took out the low, which was 712 and change. I was trying to get my offers in, so I was kind of chasing it down, pretty much from 7 I think 717 or so. I was chasing it down. I wasn't getting any fills. I finally gave up and be like, you know what, fine. I'll just take the 7 even break, and I paid up and got the shares. I'm looking at 7 even break. I'm looking for 660 as the first target. So 40 cents on the first target. We're not going to risk a whole lot. Neither should we expect a whole lot, but I am looking for 40 cents at least on the first entry of the short on ROOT. What else do we have? We have ASTR going sideways. Square, okay, it's working 272.5 now, up $1. We're still looking for 274 to go. That's the trade on Square that I'm looking for. 274 and change. If we can take that out, I think we have a chance. And Facebook, I'm still waiting for that fill. Oh man, that Facebook actually crossed 375. And now here it's coming back down to get me in. So we'll see if we can get a fill on Facebook after it went $1, almost $1.30 without me. Coming back in, I still want the trade, so the order is there. 372 is going to be the stop, $2 in risk, and see if we can actually get this to run. So far, for now, Microsoft is the only one that's out of the money, and it's coming back in it bounced all the way off of that 302.5 mark, coming back into 303. So we're still waiting on Microsoft, see if we can get a fill on Facebook. Square is still working 272 and change to take out that 274, and ASTR is slowly taking its way. But we know with ASTR, it's $9 and change. This is going to be one of those trades that's going to take some time. We know that already. And look at that. Look, Root's already 15 cents in the money. Okay, I only want 40. I'm not going to be greedy with this because I know what the expectations for Root are in terms of support. So we're going to see if we can get exit in front of 660 and change for at least lock in 40 cents. And we'll let the rest go and see if we can get some more. But for now, those are the trades that I've got. And hey, wait it out. That's all we can do at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Big trades there. And again, you always have targets, right? And I think that's the one thing that Arun, myself, Neil, I mean, all of us, we always talk about where are your outs. We'll fire off a little bit of a sausage cannon right now. You don't want this in the face. Yeah, watch out, Arun. Watch out. Oh, shoot.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Side of the face. That's okay. All right. So I blocked it for you.
Okay,
it's all right.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, here it is. So we take BBIG. It comes in right there at 813. I think that's my price. Let me just double check. Yeah, 813. And then we took it out there at 831. We just saw that it was bouncing around a little bit there. So we take that out. A part of it, anyways, half of it. Now we'll wait to see where it goes. So just an instant win there. You know, again, kind of paying fees, kind of just topping out some of the wins here that we've had today. And again, just noticing that we did have that problem. I'm not worried about this. I'm going to hold the rest until we come down here and break somewhere like this. Let's see if BBIG wants to get going even more to the upside. What's up to BIG there? One of the greatest of all times. Okay, support. Look, this is a light trade, so you're going to see me still in this one. I don't know if this is going to break. I mean, we got caught early on this one. This was my bad. And it wasn't my bad. I mean, we wanted this 42 break. It came. It came real early, and it was just, I don't know, this was a liquidity vacuum all the way up there. We noticed we were in trouble. We got out. It's going to be a red stock, of course, unless we can get back up. We're actually still somewhat, we actually are, what am I talking about? We are positive on this stock because this was in and a couple good outs. It's just that's now screwed our average price. So we have to wait for support. I'm still trying to give it back down here. So, hey, if it breaks, it breaks, and we'll move on from that. But I do like this trade. So we'll try to hold, I mean, I don't love it, but it's holding upside. So we will hold on to SPRT. Look, I hope I'm doing Arun and Neil some justice here because I'm filling in today for Neil, it appears, because Arun, you now have the desk. People loving you and your trades, and thank you so much for the continued support of Trader TV Live. I'll try to do better. Over to you, Brendan.
Just reading a Wolf Research report suggesting that Medicare might cover dental care in the large budget that is now in Congress, suggesting that SDC might be benefiting from that. There's also a decent short interest on this stock, but huge volume right out of the gate today. For Smile Direct, guys, up about 12%, coming up to day highs again.
Oh, Direct, okay.
Yeah, by the way, I don't know if you've traded before, but I have, but I'm taking this one. So okay. I'm taking this 590 break. So that's that. So I like SDC. I just looked at the daily chart. It's off of these bottoms. We called this short, by the way, on earnings. I remember this quite clearly as it was going like this. I said this was a good put call ratio opportunity there because you didn't have too much upside to worry about. But once they miss, man, you crash all the way back down. Some of these names are just too beat up for me to short them even more. So SDC, a nice little pop. This may be a little bit too much. Again, I don't know if any federal funding or anything like that would support like SDC. I don't even know if their product has like approval there by the Dental Association or whatever. So I don't know that much about SDC, but I really like the look of this. It comes down. I mean, if we can get back down to 550, hell yeah, we'll bid. We'll just bid right here, actually, right now, 570. So we'll take a 570 bid, but I do like SDC if we do break that, and then if we don't, we'll take some bids in here, see if we get some support back down to 550. So I do like SDC to go. We'll wait to see if that can go. BBIG, what did that just do right now? It just crashed, and we didn't get out on our stop. So yeah, that crashed all the way to the downside. That's what happened. We missed our out. So we'll cancel that and see. Now this might be a flush. Ooh. We're gonna get long one more time here on BBIG.
Any just halted. I was looking at the chat, and they're like, oh, any. I look at any, it's halted. It's halted at 722. So something I did on Friday as well, I was looking at at our level 2 screen, we have a indicator here that tells us what the price is, the theoretical auction price when it opens back up out of the halt. Right now, 735, it looks like it's going to be the opening price. Obviously, more orders are coming in for the halt open, but for now, it does look like it's going to be a 10-cent gap off of that 722 halt. I would imagine it's typically it's a 5-minute halt, right? Typically it's a 5-minute halt. See if we can.
It should be 10.
10 on the first one and 5 on the following ones?
It matters on what it is, but it should be probably 10.
All right, so it's going to be 10 or 5. You can, if you always want to know, go to the NASDAQ trader page, the official NASDAQ website, the trader page, and they'll give you the halt times and all halt details if you want to go there. And here we go with Root. Okay, Root, finally getting closer and closer to our target. We are short just below 7. We're looking for 660. Remember, we're looking for 40 cents on that short. This was meant to be a quick trade. I was chasing this from 720 going down, so pretty much like 717 all the way down. I was trying to be a little greedy because I didn't want to pay. Something we can do here at Day Trade the World is that you get paid to get in if you use certain exchanges, so it's cheaper. It kind of offsets the cost of other things. So one of the ECNs that allow you to get credits is ARCA. So you see ARCX. So I was trying to use ARCA to get in, and because I'm getting paid, that means someone else is paying more to hit those shares. Yeah, nobody wanted to hit those shares. So I finally had to give in and pay up 7 even to kind of take that short. But here we are, almost 40 cents in the money on Root. And hey, Square still going sideways, ASTR going sideways, Microsoft coming off. And look who finally got Facebook. Finally. Facebook just in front of 374. What actually ended up happening is I actually moved the stop or the bid up because I wasn't getting filled at the price that I wanted. So I had to move the price up and see. I gave up like an extra 6-7 cents just to see if I can get a fill. I really wanted the Facebook long. I finally got it. You know why I want the Facebook long? Look at the futures. 45.20 is now the top end on the futures. Obviously, we know Apple's taking off with the futures. Apple's one of the largest weights. Apple is the largest weight in the indexes. So Apple leading the charge on the futures. Futures taking off 45.20. Like I said before, because the stop can't be placed, I can't move a stop. I don't see any levels to work with. 44.90 is still in play. That means when the futures are gone, they're gone. That's all you can really do. You either take the trade where the risk makes sense. If the risk gets out of line, then you kind of just let it go. Because if the trade were to spin on you or turn around on you, you don't want to lose more than you need to. So this is one of those trades where you just kind of let it go. I knew I wanted 45.05 or lower. They weren't going to come down below 45.10, and here it is at 45.20. There's a lot of day left, so we can see if we can't get this trade at some point during the day. But for now, we got Facebook long, ASTR long, Microsoft long, Square long, all of them in the money, and Root almost getting me out in front of that 660. That's the one short that I've got, and we'll see if we can't get that fill.
Okay, so I'm doing something very, very similar here as we're watching out various different things here as a firm now coming back to its VWAP spot. We're watching Palantir. That's nicely up. We did take another dip here on support. That doesn't look like that wants to come through. So yeah, a little bit of problems here on some of these like meme stocks, like support is causing a little bit of issues. But other than that, man, we're good to go. And so is Brendan over there at the big screen with some small cap recap. You were just talking about this name.
Hey guys, yeah, small cap time. It does actually fit the bill, Root, that is, in small cap territory. So, I mean, this was easily, and I can say this pretty confidently, the most opportunity in small caps specifically all month long as far as August has been concerned. So hope everyone had a great day. If you go to the daily chart on route 8 to 850, a very, very clear area for route as far as resistance was concerned. Again, one of those ideas where it's gapping up so it's strong. So if it gets above a key level, starts to hold that key level, then you look for a continuation move. In this case, failed miserably. I got to learn how to hold some. Apparently, that's still $1.20, $1 in change anyways, to the downside. But trying to fill the gap there for route on huge volume. Still up slightly on the day. ATER, another one that was moving around in the pre-market. 940, 950 up to about 975. Resistance here in the pre-market and from way back on the daily chart as well. If you go out long enough. I tried this once in the pre-market, ends up getting above that 930 area. Once it retakes that to the downside, this is now $3 further to the downside for ATER. So a great move. Still going as well into positive or negative, but if you're short, positive obviously. BBIG, I'll give you my take quickly. 950 was a support level from way back early in the morning. Ends up being resistance right out of the gate this morning. Gave you all kinds of opportunity. That one, guys, $2 further to the downside for BBIG. Back over to you.
All right, a couple of trades that I actually want to go through. One position I closed out, Square. I'm putting up $4 in risk. I really want to see 274. That trade is still there. If we get the breakout through the top, I can take that. The issue is we keep running into something at 272 and the 272 half and change. So I took like a 13-cent winner, walked away from this trade. I'm not going to put up $4 if I don't think I can get $4. And given how the resistance was sitting almost $1 above my entry, I'm just going to walk away. It's not worth the risk. There's another trade available, 274. If we get that break, we can take that as well. So that trade can be kind of set up for later. What else do I have? There goes Microsoft finally coming back around. I believe Facebook also spun around. Facebook now at the highs. There you go. Facebook now at $1.36, right off that 374 into 375. We're going to let this go. Let it go with the indexes, right? I want to play the index names. If I'm seeing the futures and I can't trade the futures, let's get into some big index weights, right? Facebook's, Microsoft's, Apple's, if you can catch it. And then if you're willing to play Amazon and Google at the expensive names, we let that go as well. Somebody was asking, why did I go short route? I'll explain the thought process on route. The issue was 850. 850 was where I was working trades earlier this morning. I was long, and then it kind of spun around. I lost like 30 cents or something like that fairly quickly. And then I wanted to see how we traded around 850. And then we kind of went back up there and we stalled out again. So I know there's selling coming into the market. Well, when can I validate that selling? Once we take the lowest point we bounced off of, which was around 750 and change. Well, we broke 750, bounced off of 720, and then went back up to 750. Well, at this point, if we go right through, then that was a false break. But if we confirm this sell side action, then I think shorts are in play. What do you have? It went through the 720 low. As soon as it got below 720, I was saying that I was chasing it down because I didn't want to hit the bid with my short. Well, I got a little greedy. It slid 17 cents from where I started looking at it, and then I finally stepped in and took the 7 even break. Might as well take the even number break to get some shares out of the way. And then here we are trying to make a 1-for-1 with the 660 exit, or just in front of 660 exit. And that's it. That was the read. I was seeing shorts this morning. I was seeing selling this morning. See if I can actually get a shot on the short side, because based on what I was seeing, that was probably the better side to play. So I went for it, and it worked out. Here we are with a 26-cent winner on route, looking for about a 40-cent winner. Everything else. Oh, another trade I stepped into, Walmart. Somebody saying Walmart broke. I was looking at Walmart earlier as well. So this trade kind of just was something that was on my radar, but I wanted them to clear some levels before I stepped in. I wanted them to clear this right here, 147 and change. I wanted them to get above there, trade above there. If they were able to do it, then I can actually step in and go after the long. And in this case, they did. So I stepped in, 147.26. Here we are, 5 cents in the money on that as Facebook continues to take off. $1.70, looking at 376 now on Facebook, and hopefully Microsoft can get going as well. Sean loves Facebook, Sean loves Microsoft. All the stocks that he loves are working right now for me. So hey, see if we can't get this going. And futures, 45.25. Now it's starting to accelerate to the upside. So you know what? Clearly we get some movement in the indexes going into the end of the month, and looks like this month may close quite exciting.
Yeah, for sure. Especially if you're on AMC there today, as we'll just keep going. AMC strong, man. We'll drop some mics on this one as, yeah, we have a nice little bottom there and then straight up. I mean, we're at the high of the day. I'm using 43.50, man. I've just adjusted my stop. And again, I'm not, if I kept looking the gift horse in the mouth, which is why I don't really love that talk, because honestly, like, what does that even mean, to be honest with you? I talked about this with Neil all the time, so I'm not going to steal his thunder there. But, like, is a gift horse a trade that you do well, that goes according to your plan? Like, AMC right now ripping to the upside. So we're going to take that, man. And now it's up to 44 and change. I could use a 44 break. There is a battle happening right now. We've bounced off 44 a couple times. So you can see there's a lot of action in this area. But I just feel like if we break through 43.50, then the shorts are going to consider themselves of one, and then we may fade back into somewhere near VWAP. So I just don't want to give up that kind of a profit spot there. So we'll get out there if it breaks through 43.50. That's going to be a big win for us. SPRT, we did average in nicely at 36. It rips up to 37.50. I thought I had an offer there. I don't. 37.90 is where I had an offer. So we could have taken this down to 2. Now our average price is 39.80. Not great. I do want to address this question when we come back from Brendan, from Daniel, about coming back from vacation. So let's throw it to Brendan, and then we'll talk about this.
A few other things of note off the volume list so far today. DKS, guys, remember last week, DKS had a huge move, huge gap to the upside, to all-time high territory off of better than expected earnings. Look what just happened there. Huge monster volume spike at, once again, all-time highs. So 2.8%. Having a nice day here, guys, for Dick's Sporting Goods.
We were trading Dick's
Richard's
last
Sporting
week.
Goods.
It was ridiculously volatile, to say the least. We were trading at 134, and here's at 142, and there goes my chart. But it's a mover, all right. You see how thin it is. You can see the level 2 at least. The spread right now is about 7 cents, but there's only a few hundred shares on the bid. There's like 1,000 shares on EdgeX on the offer. It's a round number too, so 142.50. So you can explain that. But for now, I mean, the trade's gone on that stock. I don't know how you catch that.
That was $100 last week. So I mean,
42%.
And they're sporting,
there you go.
They're a damn sporting goods store. So congratulations, anybody long that name. And yeah, we'll cover it while that chart loads up. The reason why I talk about loving Facebook, and I talked about this, it's basically the last major buy that I had at 350. So I'm really happy that it's gone up to 375. I'm not selling anything. I've already put the price target of like, plus 400 on that one before the new year. I think it even gets to that way earlier than that. So we're a couple upgrades away from that thing opening at 400 tomorrow. So let's wait to see how Facebook does. I love everything Facebook is doing for small business, and I think it's great. I mean, Instagram continues to be strong. I do like Facebook for a long-term play. I think you could buy it right now if you wanted to, if you're not in it. But this was the question I want to talk about here. Thank you to Daniel. I know you've been a member or been on the chat for a while. I see that you're not a member right now. That's a problem. Is it a hard coming off vacation? Membership is $5. Is it hard coming off vacation and getting back in the swing of the market, especially the hot streak you were on? Thank you so much for those kind words. But a hot streak is just you're reading the market pretty good. You're making some good trades. And I think we've done that today. I mean, the only negative stock I'm holding right now is this SPRT. We're going to go almost perfect today. BBIG, though, we took a hit on that one. We'll review that when that comes back on there. But we did take a small win and then a big hit. So that one hasn't been good for me. But no, I think coming back, I think you just got to do what you always do, right? And that is that continue to read the charts. I put out the sticky note again. I thought that had some great ideas on there. Thank you to Brendan and Valeria and Arun, everybody, for building up our watch list. I think that continues to be something that I watch. And then, really, the big thing that you got to get used to, I guess, is just getting your hands back into the swing of things. I've already made 70 trades today, 70 fills. So, that to me, that's the biggest thing, is just getting back and comfortable and, just getting back into the swing of things. So, no, finding winners and trading and having a good time is kind of what we try to do here. So, for me, that's kind of the easy part. It's really just, like I said, we're starting to down the water. We're starting to do a bunch of things like that. So it's just getting the legs under you again, I think, is the big thing. So thank you, Daniel, for that question. And I know a lot of you are doing that kind of, vacation time right now. And I would say just keep your trade ideas realistic. That's the big thing for me. And just, don't try to swing for the fences here in late September or late August, heading into September. Normally a very, very slow time. So, okay. This is what happens when you get stops in there, Arun, and unfortunately, I'm going to hit it, man. I mean, we'll do the Gronk spike here for AMC, but unfortunately, it is bang. Why am I wearing red? That should be green. for the Green Bay Packers, and they'll probably win the Super Bowl. Okay, so we'll go down here to 43.50. Unfortunately, I guess we got ticked down there and someone's stop hunted. That can happen all the time, but hey man, we're gonna take that. That's from 41.40 up to 43.40, let's call that. So that's a $2.10 winner there. So we are taking that. And then right now, Affirm, starting to go again. We're making money on Affirm today, long 92.40. This is a $5 winner on AFRM. Check back on Tesla. Tesla rate basically where we got out, looking like it wants to take out new highs. Now, wow, the NASDAQ is up 1%. Your Facebook, Microsoft, all that is probably cruising for a bruising right now, so good trade on that one. But right now, if we wait too much longer, thank you, first of all, new member alert. When are we going to get that Stream Deck, or not Stream Deck, what's the one that Trader Pratt had? Hopefully we'll get that. We can alert these new members. But thank you so much to Srinivas and to, there he is. What up, Daniel? Thank you so much for that. I'm glad to answer your question, and thank you for becoming a member. I still am long Neo. I will talk about that when we get back from Mr. Wiggins.
This morning is flying by, guys. It's 10:30 already, coming up in 15 minutes. We have more DeFi content for you. We're going to talk about Doing Digital, which is Chris Skinner's latest book. He's a well-known author in the technology and fintech space. That's coming up in 15 minutes, so don't go away. Don't miss that at all. Let's get a check on Europe real quick and head over to the desk and say, what's up, Miss V?
What's up, Brendan? European markets are mixed. UK is closed for the holiday. Automakers, retail, and technology stocks are among top gainers in Europe today. Back to you.
Yeah, everything very, very strong, even across the pond, guys.
Yeah, a couple of trades that I have actually closed out while we were with Brendan is Root. Man, I got close, but no cigar on Root. I was looking for just in front of 660. It bounced off of 666. Oh. So I guess I should have saw that coming. But I mean, I was looking at 660, but hey, 666 is the number that it turned around. And here we are. I just had to trail this. I mean, like at this point, remember, it was going to be a quick shot. And once they broke 690, I was like, you know what? I'll take my 10 cents, walk away from this trade. I was looking for 40. Could have, I guess, should have expected 35. And here we go. Now it's back above 7. What do you do in this case? Again, the big interest level on Root, it's going to be this 750 through 780, and then obviously that 850 mark, right? 740, 750. I would start looking at, again, 740 through 780. If you're looking for shorts on a bounce, maybe this is a zone to keep an eye on, 740 through 780 on Root. What else we have? We have Facebook still working that 376 area. You see this kind of stalling out here. We did get above it, but we are stalling out. Trend is good on Facebook, so we just let it go. We'll trail this out as it keeps on going. And Microsoft's still turning around, still trying to get through that 304. Remember, we're sitting, well, I actually moved it down from 305. I moved it down just in front of 304.50. We are long at 303 and change. So I'll let it go, see if we can get some action above 304 to get this going. If this stalls out, say it breaks 304 and kind of just fails, at that point, I may just take some off there and not wait for the 304.50. It all depends on how that trades. And ASTR coming off a little bit, now at 940 and change. That's off about 16 cents or so. And Walmart, let's take a look at Walmart. The stop on Walmart's fairly tight. It's sitting just underneath 147. It's actually sitting just underneath 146.90, actually. That's where my stop is. But it's not doing a whole lot right now. I was expecting some more action as it got going above that's 147.25 mark. That's where I went long. Here we are with the support base. If we can't get above there and stay, we may have a false breakout. In this case, again, because the stop is tight, it's only going to be about 35 cents or so. We're looking for that breakout. It does look like, if you look at the 5-minute bars, it does look like they're catching some action. But again, I mean, 5-minute bars on its own, you really can't look too deep into. You got to see the tape. I have other things going on, so I'm not looking at the tape. 146.90, we'll let it go. See, give it a chance to actually support the 147 and get a move back towards 148. If we get that move, we may get a chance. Another trade that I actually I'm trying to get my hands on, well, I was trying to get my hands on Boeing, absolutely on a tear.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I like Boeing.
Boeing was moving around quite a bit. Not necessarily in one direction, but
last week
to the downside. Absolutely on a
to
tear.
the downside, damn.
Yeah, on a tear to the downside.
Damn,
to
you
clarify that. Yeah, 221 break. I put offers out there. I couldn't get it. And you know how Boeing gets when it starts to move, right? Here we are, 217.80, 218 even. That's where they're finding their support. But at the same time, they're still finding support at locations where there's been previous interest. So do I want to catch this on the move back up? If it bounces back up, do I want to catch it? No, not necessarily, because that could easily be a long play. So I'd rather just wait for the breakout through the top, which is here, 223. That's the play I'm looking for now. Unless we get up to 221 and we stall out, maybe the short might be there with a $2 stop, but for now, that order has been pulled on Boeing. But apart from that, that's all we can do. Facebook coming back a little bit now, Microsoft coming back. You see futures at 44.26, so still going strong on the futures. So all these index stocks, they're kind of just like taking their time with it now. They've kind of slowed down a little bit, but they're fine. They're all technically set up to go, so we'll just hold on to them. And that's all we can really do, right? Apart from Walmart coming off, everything else is somewhat stable at the moment.
Okay, good. Yeah, so let's, again, good talk about some of those mega cap techs there. I did want to talk, just to get into a new position here, and that is our friend SDC. Hopefully it'll be a friend of mine and not a foe as we wait to see what's going to happen now with SDC. So we did take a bid there. What price did I get? I got 91, so we took out a 96 there. Sorry, 95 half, I guess. We must have got some sort of a dark pool. So we take out some there for 6 cents, 5 cents paying the fees. Now we'll wait to see if we get a $6 break, and then hopefully we'll be able to take this one to the upside through $6. But right now, that's going to be another win. And this is funny because you know what this move is called?
What's that? Oh, floss, right?
Floss.
Yeah.
And what are we trading? Smile Direct. I don't know. I have nothing.
Irony.
That was pretty cool.
The irony.
You're supposed to be flossing, right? Apparently, I don't floss enough. So that's the one thing there. So we'll floss more on the show. And I say what's up to my dentist as I'm working on that floss. Okay, so up to $6. There goes. Come on, pen, get out of my way. There goes SDC, so that's another one that we have long on board there. So we'll wait to see what SDC wants to do. Okay, so NEO, some talk about that, and why the hell am I still in this one? I don't know. We've averaged into it. It's, again, you know, we don't show our share sizes, but it's not a huge position. I do have more shares now than possibly I want, which is always going to be a problem. But we do have this little level down here, which is what I was trying to hold against now that we dug into, and I'll show the chart. I'll show you my average prices and things like that. But right now, that was a little bit of a problem downside right there. 36.50 is what we're waiting for. So if we can break, we're sort of in this consolidation, which goes back to the 20th of August. So we're back a couple days now into this area of support. So that's really where my concern is right now on SDC, or sorry, on NEO. So we're going to give that down to 36.50. We get stopped out there, man. We get stopped out. There's not much we can do. But one thing I can do is throw over to Brendan at the big screen. I love this one. Let's see that big board. It looks pretty mixed here, considering the NASDAQ is up 1%. Let's find out what sectors are struggling now with Sector Watch.
Mixed indeed. A good word to describe how things are looking so far today. 0.45 only for the S&P. As you mentioned, it is the NASDAQ that is leading as far as strength is concerned. We'll talk about healthcare stocks here in a second, but I want to start over here because we mentioned the strength in retail stocks. So the entire where did it go? Up here. The entire retail group in positive territory, outside of a few that are kind of floating around the break-even to slightly lower area. But retailers leading the way as far as individual stocks are concerned today. Have a look at Amazon, 1.7. Home Depot, guys, up 1.7%. Etsy's here, Best Buy, Orly, a lot of the ones we were talking about over the past couple of weeks with earnings that were better than expected. Providing strength, yep, there's Apple, 2.1%. HPQ reported last week, better than expected as well, 2%. Western Digital, the only one kind of standing out as a little bit weak. DXC, FISB, everything else in the tech group doing quite nicely so far today. To the downside, some travel names. We saw that big sell imbalance at the open on MGM. Bit of a sign of things to come. NCLH, CCL, and Penn down there as far as travel names as well. AAL, UAL, Dell, Alaska also more than 1 to 2.5% there in negative territory, helping to offset. Energy stocks also notably weak on the session, as are the banks. If the banks were even break even today, this entire market would be up significantly more. It's really just the banks that are limiting the overall gains right now. But healthcare stocks, some of the tech group and industrials doing quite nicely so far. It's about 0.5%, guys, for the S&P. Back to you.
Yeah, you know, I was looking at the chat and they're like, oh, Rin's too serious for this. Yeah, you know, here's the thing. In the market, if you slip up even a little bit, it's going to cost you a ton of money. So I'm always like, just looking at the charts and making sure everything is working the way I want it to. So sometimes Sean's cracking jokes and I'm just like, okay, because I'm thinking about something.
What?
No, wait, about the floss joke. I was just talking about stocks and
that's
how
a
I'm
good one. You
trading.
caught it.
I'm just so engaged because I have so many things that I got to look at before I make a decision.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm just like, okay.
You
cool.
got it, man. You got
Yeah, so I'm just trading. And the other thing, somebody asked, well, why don't we show our trading sizes? Well, there's a reason for that, guys. We're trading illiquid stocks like Square. Say we have more shares than that's available on the bid. If we were to get out, that's going to cause a liquidity issue. So if people already know exactly where our entries are and where we're telling you where our stops are going to be, yeah, it's going to be a problem. If people are taking away liquidity from where we need to get out of. So for that reason and that reason only, there's no sharing of share sizes. It's more protection. You are getting the trades, you're getting the stops. That should be more than enough to help you learn. Remember, this is an education channel. At the end of the day, it's all about helping you guys learn trading. If you're brand new to it or if you're experienced, you can see what we see at the same time. So just be aware that there are certain things that are done just to protect ourselves as well from the financial side of things. So for now, we're just going to go back to trading, right? Facebook, 376 is gone, so that's good. Microsoft working that 304s, and it looks like Disney just went off on me. Disney, what did it go off for? Disney looks like to the upside as well. Yeah, Disney working 381 apparently. So I'm looking at Disney now. Disney's on deck as well for a potential breakout of 181. Maybe, but it is looking fairly strong. If we can clear 181, that might be a long on Disney as well. For now, though, futures going strong towards 45.30. We started this day at 45.10, and it looked fairly quiet. And here we are, up 20 points on the S&P 500 indexes. Yeah, that could be quite the move. That already is quite the move. I don't think we moved this much, apart from the 1 day off the Fed. Off Jerome Powell, we did not move this much on its own. So this is quite the move for the futures on its own, coming off the day where it was relatively quiet.
Yeah. I mean, I phoned a lot of those major funds and said, we're back. So let's go long and hit that today. And I want to give a big thank you to Arun. And there's talk on the chat here. I mean, this is what we're doing here. Arun's going to have one style of trading, and believe me, I mean, I'm here and focused on all of these positions as well. It is hard to look at multiple positions when you go, but we are, sitting here focused on the trades that we have on board, and that's that. And it's funny because we have that calmest trader thing up on here, right? And this gets a lot of 200. Have you seen this one before?
No, I haven't. No.
It's pretty funny if you wanted to, but anyways, I talk about how I'm like the calmest trader ever.
Of course, I believe that.
Which, I mean, now that you're here, maybe you are. But no, part of that is, again, look, this is a show, right? All in all, this is a trading show. And I mean, I know last week maybe was a different feel than this week, right? And that's, we play off each other's personalities, and that's part of why we're here, right? You're going to get the Kudlow and the Kramer, things like that. And what I meant by that calmest trader ever is like, this is not how Arun and I and Neil act. If we're sitting here trading, like you guys at home aren't going to be going bang, bang, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Like when the show ends,
They might be after watching
and
you.
I like it. I think you should. I think it's great to have emotions trading, but at the same time, stay in check, right? I mean, and that's what we're doing. I had 12 and a half years of no negative months. So, I mean, you think I'm yelling all that stuff during those times? No. We're focused, we're trading, we're really happy to bring this to you. I'm super excited to be on the show every single day. So that's what that is, and I mean, that's what it is. And if we don't sort of keep the juices flowing here, great trades, that's what it's all about, really. But there is an entertainment factor as well, so that's good there. Okay, let's just keep on going, guys. Look, I miss all of you guys too, man. But we are very, very thankful. And Arun has been with Neil and myself in trading now. How many years?
I'm at 15 years.
15 years. So I remember having Arun when he was a little wee one, although he was never really that wee. We had him back in our office as well, and really seen Arun grow as a trader, and that to me is really what it's all about. So congratulations, Arun, as well, for still being here after 15 years. That does mean a lot. For some reason, I'm on 21 right now, and about. My kids say, Sean, you're getting some gray hairs. I say, nah, they're not gray. Just a little bit of dust. You know what I'm saying? I got to wipe that dust off and keep moving forward. So let's do that now. Someone said Palantir. Okay, first of all, Smile Direct, man. We hit that floss. Pigs get slaughtered, so we did take some out there at that 610 level there. Good news. Thanks for that report, Brendan, on that news. And again, when you get these kind of flushes on SDC to the downside there, you're building up bottoms at 450. So That was kind of an easy one to take long there. Who knows how much it's going to work moving out on the upside. So we are slightly and petit peu negative on SPRT right now, but it does come back up, and we're able to get some out at 38 there. So now our average price is 38.25. If we can rip this thing, I mean, this has to get to 40. So there you go. So I'm sharing a little bit of information here. If it gets to 40, then we will be back to net positive. And just to go on, and again, are we getting ready? Let me know when interview's ready, guys. We'll throw that as soon as we are ready. But another reason why we don't give our share sizes, because Neil and I vastly, and you, now that you're here as well, will trade different share sizes. Like I could have 1,000 shares of SDC and Arun could have 5,000. So we would trade those very, very differently. And the same thing with Neil, right? And so we don't want you guys to get caught up in the money aspect. It's more like exactly what you said, Arun. It's more about the setup of the trade. We show our ins and we show our outs. This is not like another trading show where they don't really show anything or they just talk. We actually physically sit here and trade. I've traded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 names today, both big caps and large caps, and showed you every single execution, both winners and losers. And on that note, here goes SPRT. So, but that was a little bit of talk there about trading and about how we like our good friend Arun. But right now, we got to throw it over to Brendan for our very, very special guest of the day.
All right, thanks, guys. Yeah, we've been talking in depth lately about both the cryptocurrency, digital currency markets, and also the DeFi space. Chris Skinner has a brand new book out. That is it, Doing Digital, Lessons from Leaders. Well-known author Chris Skinner joining us today to discuss further this topic in depth, because it's an important one and we continue to kind of delve into this space to better educate ourselves. We appreciate your time today, Chris. Tell us first off a little bit about the book and what readers can expect.
Oh, hi, Brendan. The book, this one, is mainly around how banks have been struggling immensely with how to do digital. It was finished just before the pandemic started, so it's quite timely, because what we've seen during the pandemic is that if you're not truly digital, then it's very difficult to serve customers and, more importantly, to serve employees. So it's all about the lessons the big banks like JP Morgan Chase, BBVA, DBS and others were going through in a range of interviews I performed over a year to find out and get under the skin of what actually are banks doing to actually try and embrace digital transformation.
And let's discuss that a little bit further as far as this transformation that continues to occur, and a lot of it because of the pandemic. You mentioned this took place prior to the pandemic, but a lot of these transformations that have been forced on some of these banks because of touchless payment systems and people not being able to be as accessible as they once were. In your opinion, how is that transformation, happening and still transforming itself? But more importantly, what are the, maybe the 1 or 2 or 3 trends that you've seen come from some of these transformations over that time?
I think the critical thing that I talk about a lot, both in that book and on my blog, which I write every day, is we're going through a K-curve recovery. And it's not the K-curve that other economists talk about necessarily, because I put it in the context of the upside of the K is the companies that are truly digital. The downside of the K are the companies that are mainly physical. And so you think about hospitality, restaurants, airlines, etc. They've all had a terrible, turgid time for the last year and a half because they depend on physicality. Unless they do Deliveroo and take-home meals and other services. Now, with the banks, it's quite interesting. A lot of them have embraced digital, but they've signed cloud contracts, for example, which means they've moved their services into servers that can deal with employees at home. But they haven't changed the business model. They haven't changed the way in which they think about customers or operate their global businesses. They've just moved from physical offices to internet offices. It's the difference for me between digital immigrants and digital natives. They need to be cloud native with a business model born on the internet for the network. And at the moment, we're seeing this massive rise of fintech. In Europe, we have many fintechs that are now decacorns, like Revolut valued at $55 billion, or Klarna valued at $45 billion. You've got Stripe and others in the USA, which you'll be familiar with. Many of them at the moment just focusing on payments, but that's going to change. We're gradually going to see all of financial services transform for the network. And that's where the banks, particularly those that are digital immigrants, are failing to keep up.
Let's get your opinion here, Chris, on cryptocurrencies and the cryptocurrency markets in general, as we've seen, more, speaking of institutional type investments coming, and institutional type interest in general in the cryptocurrency markets. Where are we today, and where do you see this trend continuing?
I think it was still very early days in digital currencies and cryptocurrencies. In fact, John Paulson just came out today saying it's something that's backed by nothing and has no value at all. I disagree, because it's all about what do you believe has value. Gold has no value, diamonds have no value, oil has no value if you view it that way. So what we're seeing is customers starting to look at digital assets, non-fungible tokens, the cryptocurrencies, of which Bitcoin, Ethereum are obviously the main that we talk about, but there's also stable coins like Tether. There's going to be central bank digital currencies. And all of this over the next decade is going to grow into a cauldron of change that will really make us think about the exchange of value, the use of the network, the way in which we deal with data in a radically different way. And financial services is going to be radically changed as a result of that. It already is. It has been for the last decade. And fintech will continue to make that radical change even more urgent, particularly as digital and cryptocurrencies take off.
As we move forward then over, maybe 1 to 3 year period, give us one or two areas specifically that, you find specifically exciting, and a little bit on why. Again, maybe like a 1 to 3 year period.
At the moment, I think we've hardly tapped into artificial intelligence and machine learning. I think that's got a really long way to go. Cryptocurrencies, we just talked about. If you look at the fact that institutional investors are now moving in the direction of digital assets, we'll see a massive growth in that field, which I think, even if you think it's overpriced right now to invest in some of these digital currencies, cryptocurrencies, I would urge that you do, because it's a bit like saying Amazon and Google were overpriced in the year 2000. A long way to go. But the one that's most exciting me is actually when we talk about green tech and green finance. And what I mean by that is not the tree-hugging, lovely, cuddly environmentalist climate emergency stuff, but it's more to do with the change in thinking in the leadership of financial institutions, asset managers, pension funds, and fintech companies that's leading a massive change in how we think about how we can use technology. And I call it using digital for good, which is how can we use technology to do good for society and good for the planet? And that's becoming quite an urgent imperative, particularly because we talk a lot these days about what's the purpose of your business, what do you stand for? If you don't stand for anything, you fall down. Companies need to stand for something.
It's, as you said, early days and a fascinating topic, and we appreciate your time, as I mentioned, Chris. For more information, guys, or further on Chris Skinner and his blog specifically, lots of great content. ChrisSkinner.global. You can check out the blog at the top there, Doing Digital, his latest book. We appreciate your time, Chris. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks, Brendan.
Have a great one. There we go, guys. The DeFi space, ever developing.
All right, well, he was talking. There was a lot happening here. We're paring down some of our positions. I'll talk about it. Microsoft, I got some out in front of 344. Remember, 304. Remember, I was talking about 304.50. If we weren't going to get it past 304 strong, that I was going to take some out. I took some out in front of 304. I did some exits on Facebook as well. We are out in front of 376. It seems like we're going to stall out here. So I'm tightening up the stops here. It does look like the market, at least certain stocks, are quieting down because futures are actually above 45.30 at the moment. So they're taking off. But some stocks are slowing down. Facebook, I'm going to tighten up the stop just below 375 even. And Microsoft, we're going to put it just below 303.50. We got stopped out of ASTR on the downside, so that's like a 30-cent hit, I believe. Disney coming back in a little bit, but we are long on the 181 break on Disney. And Walmart actually it was up for a little bit. It was up like 20 cents for a little bit when it went after 147.50, but now it's coming back in. Again, some of these trades are going to take some time. I think Walmart and Disney might take some time, so we're just going to leave that be. And hey, guys, we have another show in the afternoon. Come back and see how this all turns out.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we're going to be coming back at 3 o'clock, and that should be an exciting one as we only have 4 minutes to go. I was just under my breath there. What just happened here to Firm? We were rocking and rolling, and I was just about to talk about maybe. And again, I'm glad that this. I'm not glad because we're long that we this just dipped down to $2. But I was looking at this area right here and thinking that we could break it and go upside here and then retest that 100. So I did have an offer sitting right here at 99-ish because again, top off these bottoms right now. So we do have a $4 winner on a Firm, but you know it's now 95.30. And it was literally, as my kids say, literally, Dad, it was just at 97.25 there. So I don't, that just dropped down a little bit there. We may have to find an out here on a Firm, but whatever. It's been a good stock for us today. We take out that profit on a Firm, and now we're just letting it go. I'm literally holding it for 100 to see if we can get to that number. Maybe a little bit silly right there. SPRT comes right back. We do get our 38, and then it goes right to 40. Remember where we're long down here? So now our average price is 38.25. So we have taken a little bit of a bath, but it's nothing. We really haven't got hit at all on SPRT. If I took this out at 40, we would be positive on the stock. We talked about that. I got a little bit greedy, and positivity is nice, but I still think we can go. This is the only problem we've had today. Look at this. Look at this buy down here. 37.50, right? Perfect. That's $4 winner. The only problem is this. Then we pick up this bottom again, 36.50, right? That goes $3 in the money. Okay, but we still have this. That's a problem, so we're going to watch out for breakouts and taking those. Hopefully we don't get stepped on too much on that. Someone said Palantir. You guys know I love Palantir. That's a big trade for me. This is like the most shares I've had on any individual trade today. A one shot, not including averages in and stuff. But there it is, $26, ripped it to the upside. We have that big bid, followed it all the way up to $26.60, and now we're sort of cruising. I still think we break higher. Congratulations to everybody, and thank you to Trader Prad for the Palantir hat. I'll find out if I'm allowed to wear that on the show or not. I don't see why not. $26.50 to the upside. That looks like a good trade, and I think we've done pretty good damn job today. Pretty damn good job today on the show, and it's been good to be back. And I want to thank, of course, Arun for holding it down while I was gone, and then once again carrying the show today. So thank you so much, Arun, to that as well. And the only problem that I have with today's show, for some reason, I feel like we haven't gone to Miss V that much. So she'll be coming up very, very shortly with what day it is and our earnings report. But I think right now, are we Miss V or are we Brendan? Brendan, what up?
All right, guys, a couple minutes ago here, we still have some earnings. We're not really in earnings season anymore, but one or maybe two notable names on here for tomorrow.
Yeah, we like Zoom. We crushed Zoom off last earnings call. And that's starting to go back to the upside.
Futu is interesting because Futu has been quite a mover. I remember trading this, and this was, it's down, what, 5% today? And I think Futu is going to be very interesting because how thin it is and how aggressive it is because of its liquidity. So you see it from 96 all the way to 90. Okay, we can play with Futu. That's one of those stocks. And then obviously Zoom, as Sean mentioned as well. Hey, for now though, before we get to that point, we got Microsoft and we got Facebook and we got the indexes still going strong. So we're going to carry those into the end. And I believe we are going, where are we going to? Valeria, what day is it today?
Hey Arun, and hey guys, thank you very much for starting this trading week with us. I hope you're all doing great. I wish you luck for the rest of the day, and I wish likes for us. So please make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel. We'll see you at 3:00 p.m. Eastern Time, and happy National Toasted Marshmallow Days.
Those are so good.
Oh, hell yeah. It's too bad I have to find some pictures of this vacation, or this, I guess vacation, yeah, sure, that we had, because you guys know that campfires, man. You're all about the campfires. Like you go up to a cottage, we were having some kick butt campfires and s'mores. You like s'mores?
I love s'mores, but to be fair, in terms of camping, I had one bad experience with camping. I've never gone since. I've always woken up to being scratched from inside the tent, from outside the tent. So there was something scratching me from outside the tent. I was sleeping in a tent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that the wife trying to get back in?
No. Yeah. So since that moment in time, I have not.
What was it, Arun?
Well, what do you think it was? What would be moving around outside, scratching the tent?
I'm honestly not gonna. I think it's a bear, but
yes. That's exactly what it was.
I mean, why could it not been a wolf, a fox, a chipmunk?
There's certain sounds that bears make that
But,
you can pretty easily distinguish, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
So good job. And you're here to tell the story. So that's a good one. I would just say next time, either bring a shotgun or stay in a cottage. So that's what we choose because we've been camping with the kids and that's a nightmare sometimes in the tent. So we just take it easy. I do like tenting and stuff like that, but that's not much of a vacation when you have little ones. But thank you so much. It's been a good show there. Brendan, are you a s'mores guy?
Sure, absolutely. I wanted to mention though those two-pronged fork marshmallow roasters, very much recommended. Highly overrated putting it on the stick. You end up with a little, like wood particles and ash inside the actual marshmallow. So those two-pronged marshmallow roasters, highly recommended.
Look at Of course, we leave it up to Brendan to get fancy, even with the prong.
It was in the picture.
Yes,
Yeah.
Brendan always being fancy. He's always fresh. He's always got the great ideas. There you go, guys. Two-prong marshmallow roasters. If you ever go camping again, courtesy of Brendan.
Is that a word, tenting? I don't know. I said that. Now people are saying tenting. I don't know what camping with a tent. Okay, it's been a fantastic show. Thank you to Rob and Lucas from the ones and twos. Absolutely great. I want to thank Miss V, although tomorrow and at 3 o'clock you're going to be on the camera a hell of a lot more. I promise you that. There they are, Rob and Lucas, and thank you to Brendan one more time. Me, Arun, Brendan, Miss V, we're all coming back for you guys at 3 p.m. So, hey, we're done. We made it through our first show back, and it was a good one. Thank you to everybody for watching, and thank you to Arun for being a fantastic co-host, and we will be back at 3 o'clock. So good trading. Until then, catch you on the flip side. Ciao.